Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? This is an older one. This one's been around for a minute. We did an entire breakdown. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get the link for the breakdown. I meant to do that before we started. Because if you don't know the evolution of Molly, the DoorDash driver, we did a live not long ago where we went through everything from how the DoorDash is talked about in the probable cause and how it ended up evolving into us seeing these body cams of her getting pulled over several times, saying that she was the DoorDash driver, saying that she was supposed to testify, saying that she was friends with Bill Thompson. And we went through everything that evolved into now, including how her original interview, which we are going over now in this live, she very much says she didn't see shit. Whoever she saw was in a tan vehicle, was a blonde, red, almost like a ginger type from the description. And no, she didn't see anything when it comes to anything. So when it comes to everything that she then came out to say, you have to question who is the one that got her to change her story. Her bestie? Is she actually one of Santa's little elves and just does whatever his little heart desires? Because it really sounds that way. So, in case you guys haven't listened to it, there are a few things that I want you to watch for. I want you to watch for her back and forth descriptions on her employment status when it comes to DoorDash. Because in the very beginning, she makes it sound as if she's very high ranking and she's been accepted to do this temporary sort of guinea pig type thing within DoorDash. And then at the end, she says how she has really bad ratings. And I want you to pay attention to the way that she describes certain things. I also want you to watch the way she also describes a friend being at Jack in the Box in the parking lot waiting for her as she's doing all of these DoorDashes, these double DoorDashes, the multiple different DoorDashes that she was doing. There's just something really suspicious about the whole thing. And even if you take away like just the weirdness of the night, take that all away and just pretend like you're listening to like a job interview that just sort of went off the rails as you're listening to this. She gives a lot of just odd information that really makes it seem as if she's DoorDashing for other purposes. I don't know anyone else that would be DoorDashing and they have somebody concerned about them and that person's not riding with them, but waiting for them in the parking lot of a fast food restaurant all night. To me, it sounds like it's very organized, like there's a protocol in place for when people want something, they order from a certain restaurant because that's where that person's going to be sitting that night. And maybe it changes just depending on the day of the week. I don't know. It wouldn't take a genius to come up with a plan. That's what it sounds like to me. So we're going to listen to this. And I want you guys to see if I'm reading into it. Because again, like I've been really suspicious of Molly. The DoorDash has always been just so strange. The timing, everything. And then why aren't you contacting the person that you can't find the house? There's tools for that. I've always been contacted. You sat around, you walked around like a weirdo in the middle of the night, looking at people in and out of the windows, not contacting the account. Why? Is it because you weren't really using the account? Is it not really your account? Like, there's just a lot here. There's a lot here. So we're going to say hi for a second, and then we're going to get started. And I want to see what you guys hear with this. Because I want to know who the frick was waiting for her in the parking lot. Like, that's just weird. Hey there, Sadie. Hey, Lady Di. How you doing? Hey there, Styles. It's tomorrow. And actually, I've already planned for us to go live tomorrow. There's just a certain way that I want tomorrow's live to start. So I didn't want to put the live up for you guys to catch on to the link and like notify the bell, all the things until I had that piece put together, and I'll have that done tonight. It's just like something really simple, but I decided last minute that this is how I wanted to start it. So I just didn't post it yet, but we're going to go live tomorrow early in the morning, not like early in the morning, but it'll be in the morning. And we're just going to have like a, I don't know, like a 2-ish hour, maybe like conversation, just back and forth of the different questions, the way things have progressed. You guys can come in with your questions. You guys can come in with your comments. And then like the last 30 minutes or so, I'll do like a members only thing so that it can just be like us in the chat, like just me and the members in the chat, like the last 30 minutes. But I think going live tomorrow for like the 3-year anniversary of this freaking insanity is probably the best way to do it. So that's what's going to end up happening. Hey there, USA. How you doing? Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Cammie. Hey, Leslie. Hello, Kathleen. Yeah, they are, aren't they? They sure are. Frustration speculation. You've changed your name like twice in the past like 2 weeks, I think. I always know the face, but every time you take a name change, I'm like, you changed it again. Hey there, IR. Yep, we about to. Hey there, Ruby. Yes, please. Yeah, let me know how many of you have already watched this. Because like I said, it's been out for a minute. We did a breakdown just like the way that I normally do my breakdown videos, but I did it in a live first. And so now we're going to go through and watch the whole thing just to see. Hey there, Sleuthy Kitty. Hey, Jackie. Snow. Oh my gosh, it is that time of year, isn't it? It was cold here in Texas for like 2 days. A little chilly for like maybe 4 altogether. But now it's like back to, I had to turn on the air conditioner. But that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Hey there, Gloria. Hey, Patty. Hey there, Carrie. Oh, I feel like I have like a tickle in my throat. Yes, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for coming in. It's also that he's like just a straight up idiot regardless. Like we already knew there was a lot of weird stuff that he wrote in the report. And I've asked the FOIA office for the exact camera angles that Payne seems to be referencing when he's talking about being able to witness Molly's vehicle pulling into the front parking area, the front parking lot of 1122 King, and then seeing SV1 pulling in behind her. When you use that verbiage, I'm expecting there to be something that you viewed where your eyes are looking at the parking lot area, either from some camera way behind the house that's looking over the house into the parking area, something from an apartment off to the side that's at a weird angle, or something to where you're looking at the parking lot and you're seeing that freaking SUV pull in, and then you're seeing a white 4-door sedan pull in to the parking lot behind her, not drive past her, but pull in behind her. That's the verbiage he's using, and that's what I'm expecting to see, but I'm being told it doesn't exist. And like I said, I have asked several times. I even CC Detective Blaker because he's the one who approved and like reviewed the damn report that Blaker wrote about this interview. He never responded, and all I was told is I must be talking about 1112, but I'm not. I'm not. Not from my point of view, from what he said. Is Payne talking about 1112? Probably, and he's just not good at his job, which we already know that to be true. So I don't know, but that's why when we get this remaining 11-12 footage, the entirety is going to be a 12-hour, little less than 12-hour fragment, because it's 12:55 a.m. to 12:05 p.m. that we are going to now have in its entirety. So I'm curious, but I know damn well Payne's full of shit and does not know how to write reports. He very much gets stuff backwards. Very much gets stuff backwards. Horrible day. Well, that sucks. I hope that it gets better. Hey there, Gone Girl. How you doing? Oh, in New York. Oh, yeah, y'all do get a lot colder up there before we do. That's true. Hey there, Mr. Naysayer. Hey, Teresa. Puerto Rico. Is it business or is it vacation? Because that's cool either way. I never go anywhere. Hey, Psycho 7. How you doing? Hey, Artsy Gal. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm really wondering what the families are thinking now that these interviews have come out and they're hearing. Like, I know for a fact, again, and we're not going to get into it deep, but I know for a fact that the Goncalveses, especially Steve, has known that Dylan heard things and knew things. No, I did not. Like, I knew about it going on. There's supposed to be a bigger solar event today that's going to cause it to go down even further south. They're saying all the way to the Gulf. So I should be able to see something if we go outside tonight, because that's pretty far down there. I didn't even think about going outside yesterday. I did not. But I'm going to check today. Oh, I started watching the Ed Gein thing, and I don't know. Like, I really think that actor, because that's the guy from Sons of Anarchy, right? Like, he's just like so hot. But then I see him as Ed Gein, and I'm like, I can't watch this. Like, like I can't. He looks so bad. He looks so freaking scary, and it's ruining him for me. Like, so I can't watch it. I'm sorry. I tried about half an episode, and I was like, I cannot watch this. Like, this is just too much. Way too much. But you know what I did watch? Oh, God, what the frick was it called? It's something about exes. And it was really bad. It was really, really bad. Like, these guys are going out and, like, putting women in hospitals and, like, just being able to get out in, like, a few months, or there's, like, no bond until, like, somebody ends up dead. Like, it's just crazy stuff. Some of them are like swindlers. Tinder swindler is something else that I've been watching. I kind of want to do something on my other channel about just like dating stuff, because I like have no interest in it. The world is so like jacked up and people are so crazy, but I want to like keep myself in that mindset regardless, because it's just like, it's just too much. But I want to like go through stories maybe and do like something over there about like crazy dating tragedy stories, not like tragedies, but just like crazy stuff like that. I guess it would be tragedies, just like more warning stories, I guess, really. And I do want to talk about that case. I have wanted to talk about Monkey's case for like a while. I don't know a lot about it. And I feel like if we're going to start talking about that case right now, with these actual charges, some actual answers coming out, and with documents coming out, I think right now would be a good time to start that. So I'm going to do a little bit of research on it just to like get my bearings in that case, because there's been a lot. And I know that his mom, Brandy, I believe that's her name, Brandy, she's gone through a lot of health issues. She's been going through it as this has been happening. It's been bad. So I think we are. I've been wanting to, and again, I've been watching it. I've been following everybody talking about it on Twitter. I watch Michelle After Dark's videos on it as she's done updates and stuff on it, because she's usually like pretty factual. We disagree about the Kohberger case, but pretty much every other case that she covers, we have a very similar mindset too, especially Delphi. But that's another thing. But we are. You haven't. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting for you. Yes, he does. That's getting close. There's a lot more stuff that apparently came out Monday in the Delphi case that everyone's really going through. Yes, that's really good to be seeing that. I read the filings at the beginning. I haven't read anything in way of an appeal for Kohberger yet. Judge Gull needs to be derobed. Yeah, but the only thing about that, like, I don't know how much of the records they got, but that's a good question to be able to see if you can get the full records that they did subpoena from them for her specifically. Because the only thing that we got, it's getting a little dark in here. The only thing that we got was the receipt that's completely redacted, and it's not even really a receipt. It has like a line. It's from the self-authenticating records that were posted by the state. It's not Xana's account, even though they're using this as proof of life for Xana. It's not her account. It's Ethan's account. It has the timestamp that it was marked as delivered, the geolocation, the address, the date. It doesn't actually say on the receipt whose account it is. We're getting that, I believe, like based off of like the summarization list that we read through before we actually got to the paperwork attached to that number. So yeah, maybe they would have more information on that. Give me 1 second. But no, that's a good question. I think we maybe could, because they have to have more of it. They subpoenaed everything. So you would think so. right? Like, that's what I was thinking too. Like, depends on what you order. Like, there'd have to be a system to where, like, they would know. And that's the only way that I can really think of. Like, if a DoorDash order comes in, but that's also, like, really risky, I guess, because I guess some people could order that. It definitely would have to be something that, like, the person knows that, like, you are about to order from this restaurant, so it's just automatically assumed you're going to stuff something in that bag. That's how it seems for sure. Yeah, I haven't watched every single, like, in full, the body cams of her. I've watched most of them. I just know that there's, like, a lot of stuff said, and there's a lot of stuff going on with, like, the guy that was with her. And I didn't want to dig too far into that just yet because we still had to try to get this damn timeline together. But like I mentioned in the last one, now that I've listened to, like, what she has to say here, I'm like, oh, we're going to look at this a lot more because I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Me too. We keep lemon and vanilla honey Greek yogurt and, like, all the fruits ever. Okay, guys. Brat pain. Yeah, no joke. All right. It's been about 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. Pull this up. Diddler. Oh my gosh. Have y'all seen his new mugshot and him getting in trouble for drinking, what you might call it? Oh, that is really big. Why in the frick frack is that like that? Drinking toilet water, not toilet water, toilet wine, which is like, I know that it's a thing there, but it's just kind of like, it's just crazy watching all that stuff unfold. Is this going to be like too big? Okay. Interview, MPD, da, da, da. Yeah. Okay. So like we've mentioned before too, this original file was apparently from Gray Hughes, who sent it to Plunder, who posted it. This is an interview. Again, we've gone over this report. This is an interview from 11/23 of 22. Vicky Gooch. Is it Victoria Gooch? Vicky Gooch, I guess. She's also in here asking questions. You're going to see them switch back and forth. There's a weird exercise that's done in here. So before it starts, like, I'll say it now, but I will, like, repeat myself again right before it gets started. You're going to hear what Vicky wants Molly to do, which is basically, like, super detail the day. And the way that she does it, it's really hard to tell, like, when their voices switch off, because Vicky talks for, like, a long time. The detective talks for a long time, describing her walking out of her house and getting into her vehicle, but she's really descriptive about, like, oh, she first sees this part of the car, her hands touch the handle, she gets inside, she sees the silver handle, she sees this button here. Like, she gets really descriptive, like, hella detailed. So you're going to hear that for a minute because that's what she wants Molly to do, but it took me, like, listening to it twice to realize that, oh, they're switching off. She's giving her an example because it goes on for so long. You think it's Molly talking. I mean, that's just how it was for me. Yeah, I want the stomach contents because that bag, like, having her name on it in marker is weird. I've, like, normally, if it's coming from a person's account, it'll have that person's name on it. But in all of the and I DoorDash a lot, guys. Like, I will tell you, that's probably, like, the thing that I waste the most money on is food. Like, I'm not fat because I eat bad. I'm fat because I eat good. All right. Like, I cook like a mofo, and I will spend money on food because we love flavor in this house. All right. So we DoorDash a lot. We cook a lot. We DoorDash a lot. We eat a lot. All right. I've never had my name written in permanent marker on the receipt. Never on a sticker, nothing. And if I'm doing a pickup order and I've done it, like, through the store, yeah, maybe. But anytime it's ever been a restaurant that's delivered to my house, it has been just the printed out freaking receipt with the DoorDash sticker on it. And then the bag is sealed up with the little DoorDash stickers. I've never had my name written in marker. Now, if the receipt says that it's like a gift order, and that name was put on it, I still feel like it would have been on the receipt. This store might just do things differently. Or maybe the big name in black marker is another sign from however this organization thing might be a thing, that person ordered something a little extra. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, especially since now we know that the damn order didn't come from Xana's account. So when they can show me more, then I can put more to that. But going based off of what we know now, they didn't clean the house. They had a party the night before. Everyone has said that no one cleaned up. They had a party Friday, and then they got up Saturday and instantly started drinking champagne and hanging out and buying more alcohol and going to the Whites and going to the football game, and all these things progressed and started. And then here's the parties and Sigma Chi and the corner club and the grub truck, and everybody's home and everybody's done all these things. No one cleaned. That food could have been from Friday. That food could have been from whenever. There was also fast food bags in her room. We saw portions of them sort of blurry in Xana's room. So she could have taken it into her room and eaten. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. So we're going to listen to this. It's quiet in the beginning. In Plunder's version, she's talking a bunch of stuff, but it's silent here for me. And then it's going to pick up where they start talking. So pay attention. Because there's just something too weird about the DoorDash. Sorry, not sorry about it. 4 o'clock in the morning, right whenever this person is apparently circling the house. She's there for forever. No. Yeah. And I don't know why. Yes, anything for flavorful food, bro. Crawfish season comes. Look, I'm one of the people that sucks the fat out the crawfish. That's where all the flavor is. Dawn takes after me. At my sister's wedding, they had brisket, and Dawn does not really do meat a lot. Like, it's taken like baby steps. He's a texture kid. So I finally got him to eat brisket for the first time. Real brisket, real barbecue, real smoked brisket from a real barbecue place. Not no Dickie's boo-boo, some real stuff. He took a bite of that fat and he loved it. He says, oh my God, I have to have all of it. He ate all the fat off the brisket, wouldn't touch the meat because that's where all the deliciousness is. And now I want brisket, so thank you. All right, now we're going to get started. Again, it's real quiet right here. Yeah, and I'm just like, why aren't you texting your account? It was Ethan's. That's public record. It's on the website. We've done a video about it. In the description box of the video will be a link to the document. Because he's a weirdo, bro. He's my weirdo, but he's a weirdo. When I tell y'all, he's a weirdo. But he's finally loving stuff. Like, he's finally loving the good things. This is also a kid that won't eat homemade pizza unless I put pesto sauce on it, like basil pesto. Like, he's real particular. Come on, let's go now. Well, as long as it's sealed, we're good. All of them are sealed. Like, we've never had anybody, and it's never ever looked like someone's broken into our food.
It's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot. I'll talk a lot. So I'm sorry. You don't have to.
And notice she's got her little puppy with her. So this is the dog that would have been with her that night, because she mentions how the dog is in the seat. She's going to talk about his little car seat thing, everything.
Yes, I do. Yeah, he's very good. He loves everybody. Hi, baby. Hi. You're pretty cute, man. You're still going to have
I got you. I will. Actually, I just had to give my daughter my Dr. Pepper hot wing recipe. And I realize I don't really ever use measuring things, but I'm going to start doing that simply because I do want my kids to have my recipe stuff. So I'm going to do that.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, when he passed away, I got to keep him. He stayed with me. So, like Alex was saying, we're going to just take it nice and easy, okay? So we have a map here if you need it, okay? So just let us know what else you need. I'm going to take some notes. Okay. But don't think I'm not paying attention to you. No, I'm not. My brain doesn't work that great sometimes, so I got to write stuff down or I'll forget it today. So I guess the first thing we'll do today is just kind of start, if you wouldn't mind, by, when you got your first order that night and when you delivered your last one. Just tell me about
as far as that night went, I think I worked a total of like 18 hours that night. So but to focus on here, the 3 calls that I got from there were all relatively around the same time.
And she calls them calls, which is also strange to me because it's not a call. It's a notification on an app. It's never a phone call. No one calls you. So I have to question why she's using that word, considering what my suspicion is for this. Is somebody else getting a phone call, or is she getting a phone call saying, hey, when these names come in, grab these orders because they have something else that they're ordering too, and it's this is her job. So I question the verbiage that she uses because it's definitely not a call.
There was 2 calls to the apartment complex next to it.
Yeah, this is Brett Payne. This is Brett Payne, and then he's going to end up switching places with the woman here. Yeah, for real. Especially since there's noises, there's stuff happening, but it doesn't start kicking off until she pulls into that freaking neighborhood, and all of a sudden it's loud. And that's just odd to me. That's something we have to pay attention to for sure.
The Burke apartment complex one was big order, large. It's a weird name too. He put down a strange name. I don't remember what it was, but it was. Some people like to play with the names when they make orders, and it was definitely one of those. Somebody started around being a
Of course.
Yeah. They were all Jack in the Box orders too, because at that time nothing's open at Jack in the Box around here.
Well, she says that, but then she's going to start talking about how the drive-thru at Taco Bell is also still open. And yeah, I get maybe there's not a lot of options, but there's no way that as you're working that's the only order that you're getting, because it's not just food. There's also Walgreens, CVS. You can get stuff from different gas stations, different drugstores. And I highly doubt it was just Jack in the Box coming in. I think it was just Jack in the Box that she was accepting because she knew what she had to look for. And again, that's just my assumption. There's just something real weird about why you got somebody hanging out in a parking lot waiting for you as you're driving around between 2 towns. That's odd as hell.
The other one that I did was, I think it was, I'm trying to remember, but same thing, that apartment was in the center section. By the time I got to that, the one that we're here for, it was my last last call for that night, or for that pretty much evening. In fact, when I got back to Jack in the Box that night, they thought I wasn't coming back and had thrown away the orders. They had to remake my orders so I could deliver them because they didn't think I was coming back. They thought I just went for the night.
Gotcha.
She was so slow getting back to Jack in the Box that they threw away the last 2 orders that she was supposed to pick up when she was double dashing. That's why, even though she doesn't really say it straight out, the first thing that she's talking about, where she drops off an order to a guy with a weird name and then she goes to another apartment complex, it has to be a double dash for you to be taking that long to get back, for them to toss it out. So why does it take you so long? I can only think of, you don't have access to the app. There's got to be something happening to where you are constantly taking longer than normal. And for you to be getting as lost as you got lost, something's just not accurate with what she has access to here.
Have you been there at night at that house?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Okay, so you know that the number for the house is right there under the light, and it's very hard to see at night. That was probably my biggest problem, was trying to find the number. I didn't actually realize that I was there, which is why I was probably there.
And she makes a comment about this. She makes a comment about the photo.
For about 15 minutes, and my clock, or my map on my phone that tells me where to go, kept telling me to go up and around.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, I actually initially pulled and parked up right there, parked right in front, but I didn't see the number, so I didn't know. And my map kept telling me to go up and around, and in there.
Now, I will also say that I've heard that from the very beginning, that when you are in that area driving around and you put in the 1122 when the house was there, it didn't actually make you stop where the parking lot was. It did take you up that little road and make you believe that 1122 was basically facing the back, which is not obviously accurate, but that's something that was pretty common from what we heard.
I kind of walked around with my flashlights on my phone trying to figure out where it was. I remember when I pulled up, I saw the girl in the window that he told you about. Up at that top window on the left. I would swear that she was swinging.
That I told you about. So I want to know when they talked prior to this, because we already know that Brett Payne and her have had interactions before. We know that she literally looks at his little body cam and is like, I'm friends with Bill Thompson. So who did you talk to, and where is the reports from that conversation? for you to say the one I told you about. Well, no, should be the first time he's hearing this. So where is all of that? And again, they've been trying to get a hold of her for a few days at this point. So I'm really wondering if like the FBI's talked to her at their own offices already, or if this is really like her first interview ever. Something just tells me that she's definitely talked to somebody before.
On a hammock or something, but she could have just been on the top of a bed or something. It seemed odd because she was watching me. And usually when you do an order and that's somebody sees you, if that's where it's from, they see you, they come running down to the door, whether it's a no contact order or not.
She does say that.
And she jumped right down as soon as she saw me and saw that I saw her. I know.
Now I want y'all to keep this this part in mind. See, it sounds like she says swinging because she says something about like on top of her bed, because there's like movement happening here. Now this is why I go back to one of my original thoughts, and I mentioned this in the breakdown, that when Kaylee apparently says something about how someone's here and Dylan hears footsteps, I really feel as if it's Kaylee going up the steps, there's that window, and she like is seeing headlights. And maybe it's like, maybe she's walked into the bathroom, because I think the bathroom window and then like the living room window is right there. So she would have had to have like maybe been in the living room and maybe gone upstairs and then seen out the bathroom that somebody was here. And that's where Dylan like hears there's someone here. And it's really Kaylee like seeing the fact that someone's parked right outside of the house. Because at the time she would have been up in the bathroom window, which is, if you're looking at the house, if you look at the layout of the house, it's the bathroom window that shares a wall with Maddie's room, I believe. Yeah, that would be the window at the very, very top on the third floor. That would be to the left. Because if she's parked like this and looking at the house, that's the left window. Or it's the one in the living room that you meet as soon as you get up into the second floor from the bottom floor stairs. So either it's that one or the top one. She doesn't say second or third level, I don't think, or at least I didn't catch it before. So I guess we'll see if she says it here. But I've just always, like, I just go back to that. Like, was it the headlights? Was it the vehicle that was noticed? That's the reason why somebody's here was actually said. And the timing just ended up being like at the same exact time somebody was coming in the house and being all crazy. Like, I don't know how the frick that's happening, but that's what they want us to believe. But again, given the time of her being there, and we know that now Dylan is saying, oh, there was singing and moving around and Kaylee was up and down the stairs and blah, 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 whatever. Like, I really feel like if it was Kaylee that said it, it's the DoorDasher that she saw. And I could be wrong, but that's my original thought, and I've circled back.
Several times as I was walking around and trying to find the place, she would pop back up in the window and I would see her again.
Okay. Give me 1 second. This is a story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Short report.
Thank you.
Those are pretty good.
I have a.
It looks like a Celsius energy drink. I actually drink those all the time. I think that's what that is.
So I thought it was weird that she kept jumping in and out of the window. Long brown hair, younger girl.
And see, that's another thing. I don't know if you can tell that. And I mention this every time we talk about this. If it's dark outside and you have lights on in the inside of the house, I feel like everyone's going to look like they're like dark. You know what I mean? Like, even if it was Kaylee or any of the blondes in the house, I feel like you're going to look like a brunette because it's going to be more like a silhouette than being able to see the actual colors of the person's like hair and stuff like that. So I take that portion that she says with a grain of salt. Because I don't know. I just don't know. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
There were parties going on all around. Lots of noise. I mean, they were everywhere. At one point, I remember I got in my car and I actually drove up here to see, because I thought maybe there was a road that's why my map kept trying to tell me to go up there. And I parked up there because it didn't go any further. And I stopped, and I parked and I got out and I was walking around with my flashlight and I was looking through the bushes and I could see the inside courtyard and all the lights and everything was open. And that's where the map was trying to get me to go, but I didn't feel comfortable going in there because there was no path. It just seemed odd to have you walk in that way. It seemed like a back door. There was no apartment numbers on the order or anything. It was just the house number. There were no directions or any kind of clue to tell me to go that way.
Right. Yeah.
But I do remember that when I was walking with my flashlight on that road, there's nobody out there and it's dark.
And it's not a flashlight, it's the light on her phone, which she does say later. So it's not a separate thing that she's holding.
And I'm a girl and I've got a flashlight. A car came driving by. It was a sedan. It was tan. And the gentleman that was driving, I remember it because it was odd that he did not look at me. You see a girl out there walking around with a flashlight. You look, you see what's going on, and if there's nothing, just completely zoned. And
see, I have an issue with her making a big deal about that because she makes it sound as if like they were like this, like she was walking and here came the car. That's not true. They were going the same direction. So he probably did look at her as he's driving behind her and passing her up, but doing the right thing by not rubbernecking around to look at her some more as he's driving past her. That's how I see it. I don't know why she makes a big deal about it. It's weird to me that she makes a big deal about it, but she's like only like suspicious about this person because they're not like eyeballing her down, which is weird. That's just weird to me. I don't know what her deal is.
Out of it, almost. And that's why I thought it was odd that he just drove by me. There was no stopping or anything.
He didn't stop and say hi, so it's odd. See what I mean? Like, it's just strange. Her reasoning.
And I eventually walked back up to my car, got my car, drove down, and I was like, this has got to be the house the way the numbers are going. And so I pulled into the drive in there, and that's when I noticed that the light had been blocking the numbers. And so I jumped out of the car and I put the bag by the door because, I guess it is apartments now, it's coming out, but there was nothing to tell me that was apartments and it needed to be directed at a certain place. So I just left it at the door and snapped a picture and then I left. And I was there probably, I'd say 15 minutes. It was a while of me walking around trying to find it because I remember being stressed out because of the time. Because DoorDash, we get
Was there some sort of time limit or something?
You get paid by your delivery, so you only get so much per delivery. They are doing a trial right now where they're actually paying me by the hour because I have really high stars, except for my time is really bad because I always get orders that nobody else wants to do.
So she's so highly rated. She has such great scores. They're putting her in this program to where she's going to start getting paid hourly instead of per delivery. But then she says how low her scores are because of what she also just said about how her times are so long. It cannot be both. You cannot have extended times to where you're delivering food freaking freezing cold after taking 30,000 hours to actually go and deliver it. And what else do we have to also consider in this situation when it comes to this specific drop-off time? That because she's so damn slow, we can't figure out when this was ordered because that's something they're not telling us. They will not give us the time that this order was made. They're only giving us proof of when it was signed off as being delivered. But considering that she was taking so long to get back the Jack in the Box that they threw the food away and had to remake it after she got there because they thought she wasn't coming back, there's no telling when this was ordered. And that is like the answer we need. Because if it really was them that ordered it, at least it would give us maybe something when it comes to when they actually walked in the doors that night, because no one seems to know that either. And I don't know how hard it could be just to give us that piece of paper. It has to be in the same set of documents where the other receipt came in, right? Like the line above it, something has to have the stamp of the freaking order actually being made. Why is that part so secret? Probably because it's like some weird time that they don't want us to know about for a reason. Or else why not tell us? It's dumb.
They've been rejected. And so my stars are like way down there. So I've been actually doing better with the by the hour wage. But still 15 minutes to be looking for one address is a little ridiculous. And so many parties and so many.
And why didn't you text the person? Again, look at anybody that has DoorDash, look at the freaking app. The next time you make an order, you can call or text your driver. And whenever you call them, it doesn't even go to their own cell phone. It does something else. And your driver can call you. And it's not their cell phone number. It's some DoorDash specific number. And it literally says DoorDash customer service on it as they're calling you. So why didn't you utilize that, Molly? Walking around for 15 minutes like a psychopath at 4 o'clock in the morning with your little bitty doggy and a flashlight. Why aren't you calling? Why aren't you texting? That's weird. Is it because you didn't have the app with you? I don't know. I don't know why. But I don't know why you wouldn't utilize your tools.
People, and I felt uncomfortable. Then I remember seeing, it's an odd thing, but like underwear and stuff in the street. And I was like, what the heck? This is so weird.
Yeah.
Then it had been my third time there that night.
Okay.
And the girl popping in and out of the window was strange, but never coming down.
Okay, so once you left at the
And see right there, she's like, the girl in the window didn't come down to the door, so I automatically thought it was the wrong house. Why didn't you call then? Why didn't you text then? If you see movement, it's not like you're walking up into a house that's dark with no lights and it looks like nobody's home. You can physically see that somebody's in it. Why wouldn't you have tried? It's just so weird.
at the door, then what?
I just got in my car and I left, and I went through campus and I hit the light as you're coming to Winco, and I got another order to email my phone, so I went back to Pullman to Jack in the Box. And I went there and he had thrown away my order, so he remade my order, and I got sent to a dorm in Pullman. That was my last delivery to Moscow, actually.
Okay.
So it was.
So what she's saying here is that she got a double dash, and one of the orders was to a dorm in Pullman at WSU, and the other one was 1122, both from Jack in the Box.
Those three ones, they were just like bang, bang, bang. That little bit of time, I was there so many times, just back and forth. It was double orders, 2 every time.
Yeah. Okay.
One of them I actually delivered to an apartment, and this one here.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, there's also, that is quite the party spot down there. Especially those
Yeah,
buildings right there, those are super.
Yeah, I was really surprised how much was going on down there. Because there seemed like there was parties here, down here. They were just everywhere. There was so much noise, so much music, and it was so loud.
Yeah, all football games, I think, probably helped.
Yeah, it usually does.
So I'm just gonna kind of go back to something here real quick. First of all, you said you work about 18 hours. Is that normal for you?
When I get going like that, yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll clock in and clock out. And DoorDash is pretty, I think the reason I like it, I just started doing it recently because I have a hard time with my history.
Mm-hmm.
I can clock in and clock.
I have a hard time with my history, meaning she can't pass a background check to get a job, so she's got a DoorDash. And if she can't pass a background check to get a job, she probably is DoorDashing under somebody else's name. Because they're supposed to run that stuff. They're supposed to make sure that your license is valid, that you don't have DUIs, DWIs, that you don't have like all the like felonies in ish. So that's why I also question, like, whose account are you working under? If you have a background and you like it because you have such a bad history, you really can't get a job anywhere else. Serious question. This is a serious situation. Those things need to be answered. Because then you have to also question, what else are you willing to do because your history is so bad you can't get a real job with your friend in the Jack in the Box parking lot all night? It just leads more to it, leans more to it.
Clock out as I want. I don't have to schedule. I don't have to keep to things. Something comes up, I'm not going to lose my job because I don't make my shifts.
Yeah.
And so when I get going and things are going good for the night, I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
Do we know that they never verified her? I mean, I believe it, but I'd like to see where it was like they tried, because they did get stuff. They did subpoena them for stuff. So I'm wondering how they were able to do that if it wasn't under her name. That's why I'm curious about, like, what are they hiding about her? Because there's got to be something here. It has to be. Like, it has to be somebody else then. That goes right back to what I thought. And, like, can you imagine putting her on the stand and they have to sit there and, like, explain the fact that she's illegally dashing under somebody else's name? So crazy. This is so crazy.
No, I'm just kind of familiar with how it works, but and I'm just anything else. So, do you make like on a good night, like on this night, do you make what, a couple $100, something like that?
Probably not.
It depends because of gas.
Yeah.
Because you have to pay for your gas.
Of course.
And then you're eating too and munching. And so
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, it was a good night and I made good money that night. I could probably look it up and tell you how much I made that night altogether. But when you're talking about gas in my car, my tires were not so great. And I was having issues with my tires. And I guess my front alignment was out. So my Subaru that normally gets 25, 26 miles to a gallon is actually down to 17. So I do not make as much as I usually do, which is probably why I was pushing it even longer because, I was trying to make bill money.
I gotcha. Okay. So how long, you said you just started, how long you been?
I actually hired on with them probably about a year ago, but I actually didn't start dashing. It took me a really long time. Probably 6 months ago before I actually signed on and started doing it.
So she said that she signed up to dash, but she didn't really get going for like 6 months. That's like another red flag to me, that you attempted to try to dash under your own information and you didn't pass it. So then you had to figure out another way to be able to work with DoorDash, and it took you 6 months to be able to figure it out. That's what it feels like to me. And again, I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. Yeah,
and actually when I came on to do this, I had actually just taken about a month and a half off and not dashed for a little bit.
Okay.
My boyfriend, Jimmy, he wanted me to take some time off. I also take care of my special needs brother. I've been taking care of him for about 18 years now. He's mild retardation. And my eldest son, I mean, he recently left and it was not on good terms. He kind of left in the middle of the night, and so that's been a battle. And then his dad moved in, and then he passed away in my bathroom. And then my daughter actually, she was 15 at the time. She got really close with one of his friends, and they were taking me to court and deeming me unfit and saying a lot of stuff about me, and I haven't seen her about 2 years now. So it's been a lot on me.
Absolutely.
So both of her kids basically just like took off and don't talk to her, is how that sounds. Also pay attention to the deaths surrounding this woman, because we were introduced to her and the very first thing that we heard was that her husband was like shot in front of her or something like that. Her husband was shot and she like witnessed it, or had to be, I don't know the exact freaking story, but that's the way that she was introduced to us after all the camera footage and stuff started coming out. She mentions another death about somebody dying in a bathroom. There's a lot going on with this lady.
Not on good terms. He kind of left in the middle of the night, and so that's been a battle. And then his dad moved in, and then he passed away in my bathroom. And then my daughter actually, she was 15 at the time. She got really close with one of his friends, and they were taking me to court and deeming me unfit and saying a lot of stuff about me, and I haven't seen her about 2 years now. So it's been a lot on me.
Absolutely.
And I've also been taking care of my husband's best friend, who was causing a lot of problems for me, and I was losing my home. And he actually just, I stayed at my boyfriend's house, and he actually sold stuff in my house, and now I have somebody squatting in my house that I'm not even happy with there, and they destroyed my house, and I have to go get them out and fix it. And so it's a lot of stuff, and he wanted me to just, it's like, you've been through enough, you've had too much going on, you need to just.
Absolutely.
He's like, I work good, I can make the bills, just stay home and rest.
Yeah.
So I actually just had been working for the last, I think, week or two, not much.
Yeah.
coming back on from that.
I think that's a wise choice. I mean, it's just from talking to you, you've been through more than most people should ever have to, for sure. It sounds like you go kind of above and beyond to take care of other people too, which is.
I try to.
Yeah.
I don't want people to have to go through stuff that I've gone through.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Makes it easier for them.
Yeah.
So I had some of you asking, I'll show you guys real quick what I'm talking about because some of y'all might not have seen it. It seems like a couple of you guys might not have seen it. There are videos we've gone completely over this information, but since we're talking about it now, this is the defendant's objection to the self-authenticating records that was posted. What day was this? My sister's birthday, 3/17/2025. This is where it shows the DoorDash records were received in April of 2023, and then it's Ethan's, and there's no record for Xana. Okay. So then we look at this, and this is all we have when it comes to DoorDash receipt. So if we go up one, I believe, we can see, no, it's down one. Is it this one? Okay. When we go down one, we can see that this is the certificate of authenticity for the receipt from DoorDash. Okay. And this is all that it is. Come on, load up. Oh, where to go? Really? I just went up like one page. Is it just not? This page is like where it needs to be and it's not loading. Hold on a second. Let me reload this. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, there it is. See, okay, they have it redacted out. Delivery time, 11/13/22 at 3:59 in the morning. It's hard to see. It is so freaking tiny. Try to see if I can get it as big as I can to where you guys can see. Can y'all see that? At least a little bit, I guess. Yeah. Delivery time, 11/13, 3:59 and 0 seconds. This is the delivery ID, 703-555-10760. Creator ID, 113940969. And then it says subtotal, $22.35. Formatted address, 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, 83840, USA. Street, 1122 King Road. Zip code, 83845, I think. Is that what it says? 83843, 84843. Okay. Again, country, United States. GPS points. We put these in. I did a video where we put in these geolocation points, and it does take you to the area on the map where the back door, like where the back slider, back porch area was when King Road was still there, when the house was still there. That's where it takes you. And then it says business name, Jack in the Box. And then Dasher ID. So this 17666, holy shit. 66 is in her Dasher ID. What? Woo! Okay. 17666-374 is her Dasher ID. Alrighty. Pacific time. But this is all they give us. This is what they give us. So I'm going to assume creator ID is like the account ID behind Ethan's account. And then this delivery ID is just the ID that was given to the order itself. But that's all we have. We have this document says it's only Ethan's. We have nothing for Xana whatsoever. And then it's just this little bitty nothing right here. So I'll go ahead and give you guys the links for this one. That is the receipt, and it's on page number 47. And then this is where it shows that it's only Ethan's account. And it's page 5. It's page 5. But yeah, that's all we have. That's all we have for that. And I don't understand why they haven't given us the picture, because if she actually has access to the Dasher app, she's having to click on a very specific button in the app itself as she's saying that she's here and she's delivering it, where then she has to take a photo. She can't, or I don't know if you can, but you should not be able to take a picture on your phone and upload it. It should have to be a real time, in the moment. You have to take it as the app is saying that you're at this location, and that's just how it is. And we haven't seen it, and I don't know why they haven't given it to us. Why isn't it attached to that? There's no reason for it not to be. It should have been. It should have been. All right, let's get back to this mess.
So kind of going back to when you delivered, can you kind of, I was kind of watching you, but can you kind of just show me your path as best you remember?
I pulled up right here, right by the dumpster there. That's where I initially parked.
Gotcha.
And sitting there looking around and trying to find things. I remember I got out and I walked partway up and looked up here up this pathway, the road there. And my map telling me to go up there.
Yep.
I have a tendency to end up walking half a mile from my car because my map tells me to. So I didn't want to do that. I was tired. So I ended up turning around, coming back, getting in my car.
Did she just say she has a tendency of walking around? I was grabbing my lotion. My hands are dry. Let me listen to that again.
Talking to you, you've been through more than most people should ever have to, for sure. It sounds like you go kind of above and beyond to take care of other people too, which is.
I try to getting in my car and driving up there and realized that the road didn't go any further. Thinking maybe it went around or something to get there, but my map just kept telling me to go in like right into the middle center courtyard.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just weird. And then walking back down with my flashlight, which is when I saw the car, and still seeing again, there was no pathway. I was just double checking to make sure that I wasn't getting something.
Yeah, that's something else that's interesting is when they're describing the way that Ethan and Xana are in the room. She's on the floor and there's a gray phone next to Xana. And Ethan is, of course, on the bed and there's a pink phone next to Ethan. So for Xana to have used Ethan's account and the phones to have been switched like that makes sense. But I've questioned if Ethan was really like asleep, then why would he have needed Xana's phone? If that makes sense. Like I get her being on his phone to watch the app, right? But if he was asleep, why wouldn't she have been like scrolling on her TikTok on her pink phone? Because that's something else that they are trying to tell us is like a thing. But if she had his gray phone and they're trying to tell us that she was scrolling on her own TikTok at 4:12, even though, again, these self-authenticating records say 3:16 instead of 4:12. And that's not a time zone thing because the minutes are different. Time zones don't change minutes. It only changes the hour. And they have yet to clarify that either. It's been 4:12 up until this March time where these documents started getting filed. So why wouldn't she have had both phones? Wouldn't she have had both of the phones? Like, wouldn't she have had the gray phone with his account on it if that is his phone, and then her own phone if that pink phone is her phone? Like, wouldn't she have had both of them? Scrolling on TikTok on her phone, watching the DoorDash app on his. If he was asleep, why would he have had her phone next to him if he's asleep and doesn't need to be scrolling on nothing? That's been one of my big things too ever since we read that. And that's in the documents from ISP. I need that to connect somehow too.
So I don't mean to interrupt you, but when you're back here looking around, can you kind of describe to me just what it looks like at that back patio?
It's so dark, and in between the trees, you could just see like lights and like things were open. I want to say that it was like warm and inviting. It looked nice. It looked, you could go back there, but I did not see a pathway that made it so it was okay for me to walk in the back of somebody's yard.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So then you start walking back down. Right?
Walking back down, and then I realized that I didn't miss something. I did not see a path. I was checking again, and so I drove back down again because I walked back up to get my car, and I drove back down, and I ended up pulling up into the drive, thinking maybe I could go around that way.
Yeah.
And I actually parked my car right kitty corner here because I saw the light. Finally, I could tell that the light was hiding the numbers on the house. And that's when I realized that was the correct house and my map wasn't off. And that would be when I jumped out and I put the bag right there by the door and took the picture. And then I left because it was a no contact delivery.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes, which means that I just take a picture, I send it, and I go.
Yeah.
I don't wait for anybody, I don't look for anybody.
So,
which I think is crazy.
Yeah. So when you're back up here, I'm just kind of walking to make sure I fully understand.
Yes.
So you're walking back to your car here, and this is when you see the car that you mentioned?
When I saw the car after I had already parked up here and I was walking down.
Walking down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was driving down.
She was walking down as the car was driving down. So like I said, he probably did look at her as he was driving behind her to pass her, but there'd be no reason for him to have then turned his head to then watch and see what she's doing as he's driving in the middle of the night, trying to pay attention to where he's going. So she's going to mention how odd it is he didn't look at her probably like 4 more times. And I find it odd that she thinks that that's weird.
Yeah, we were right around here. He was.
Okay. So you come around, so then you go and drop everything off. Did you see the car again after that? Did you?
It
did not.
It left.
Okay.
It just, the only reason, like I said, I remembered it was because it was odd that he didn't look at me.
See, she just said it again. Keep in mind what she just said about I didn't see whatever, it left. She's going to say later that she doesn't remember which way the car turned. Like she's walking the same direction that it's driving. She's paid so much attention that she knows the color of the guy's hair, the fact it looks like he needs to shave, the color shirt he has on, the color of the interior of the car, but she doesn't see which way it turns once it gets to the end of the street. Yeah.
Here, wonder what the heck I was doing.
Yeah.
And he was very just, you know, yeah, and there was nothing. And so that seemed odd to me.
Okay.
Especially to be a girl in the dark. There's not a lot of light on that road at
No,
all.
it's dark. Yeah.
And to be walking around with a flashlight and looking around and poking around somebody's yard,
Yeah.
you would think.
It's a college area where everyone's walking around at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, let's go back to the cameras. And for her to have been in this area a whole bunch doing DoorDash, like, I don't know why. I don't know. She seems like she's a person who is used to getting attention, I guess, for this to be her mindset here.
Most people stop and they're like, are you okay? Is
Right.
everything all right?
Especially early morning.
Exactly. It just seemed odd to me.
So when and I've been up there quite a bit, but you know, the road's fairly narrow.
Yes.
Were you pretty close to this car? Were
Yes.
you,
I mean, it drove right by me.
how close do you think it was?
Not very far. I mean, I'm walking on the road. I didn't walk in the grass or anything.
Yeah.
And so there's not a lot of space, as you said. And
Yeah.
there's cars parked right there too. So, I mean, he was right there.
Okay. Did you notice anything about the car? Any sound or anything out of the ordinary?
No, and I've been racking my brain too, because it seemed so odd for him to be there. He didn't seem out of place. He actually seemed very in place. Just his demeanor and everything just did not look at all, not even to turn his head.
When you say you look like he in place, what do you mean by that?
You just do it. You can plan it. Like, I'll download it right now. I actually just delete. I never keep it on my phone, because if it's on my phone, I'm going to use it way more than I should. So every time I want to use it, I re-download it. I'll re-download it right now. And then, I can't show y'all the screen, obviously, because y'all don't need to know my business like that. But I'll show you with my words as I'm doing it. Because you can do it. You can do a gift order where you put the person's name. You can schedule ahead. I've actually scheduled ahead a lot of times. Like, if I knew that it was going to be like a really late night and I was going to have to get up really early and I wanted to make sure that I had a motivation, I will order a coffee with all of my extra espressos and all the yumminess in it to be delivered at a certain time so that I will get my ass up in the morning. Oh, yes, I do use DoorDash as an alarm clock. Yes, ma'am. And sirs. Yes, I do. Sometimes. I'm not afraid to say it. All right, let me get logged in, and then I'll tell you how many steps it takes and how you can do it.
Didn't look disheveled or like at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get ready for work and you're half asleep or something like that, or running or late, or it just, he seemed like very put together and just, yeah.
Could you describe that first and foremost?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, that's probably the best way that I've ever heard him be described ever. That's hilarious. Holy shit. That was good.
I would say blonde hair. He was male. I would say it's hard because he's sitting down. So, but blonde, I would say maybe a light because of maybe a beard, kind of like a short.
Okay.
See, she was focusing enough on who this person was that passed by her that she could tell that he needed to shave. He didn't look disheveled, but that he needed to shave. It's just so strange that you would have all of that in your brain, but don't know which way the car turned.
I keep trying to rack my brain if there was glasses or not, and I can't remember if he had glasses on or not.
Was he white
White, yes, yes, sorry, he was white.
Okay.
And blonde, very light blonde. Not the dark blonde where it could almost be brown, but very light blonde. Short hair.
She brings up
clean
right
cut.
later.
Did you notice anything about clothes or anything like that?
Light clothes, but not anything that would stand out. I would almost say he had the light on in the car now that I think about it, because to see him that well on that street, he would have to have the light on in the car, the dome light,
Right, yeah.
because I saw him very clearly, which seems odd for him to have the dome light on. Because I didn't flash the flash.
She really wants to make everything about this car odd. He wasn't looking at me. His interior light was on. He was concentrating on the road too much. She's trying to just like put all kinds of stigmas on this person. It's very just strange.
I'm really just I turned around and I looked because the car didn't get hit by a car.
Yeah.
And I assumed he would look at me and wonder what I was doing, like most people do.
Yeah.
Like most
So when you're, when you're out and about, and
attention.
you told me you've been up there twice before that night, is it common to see cars driving through there? I mean, did you see traffic when you're up there earlier? Do you see people about kind of, can you just
I
describe
actually
the
didn't
general vibe of the place?
Anybody really, both deliveries, I had to drive up and I came up and around in the middle. They were both in the middle. The first delivery, actually, I drove up in the middle and it was and that was the huge order.
I've seen a lot of people mention this, but the car, like I can't say that I'm 1,000,000% on the car situation when it comes to Jack D for that day, because I know that some people, and I've seen it, I've seen people do videos about there being somebody in Jack's family that had a similar car that was like a white four-door vehicle, possibly a Hyundai Elantra. But in the body cam, in front of Jack's house is like a dark Volkswagen. I believe it's a Volkswagen. It's on the body cam where we see, I believe it's Snyder. Is it Snyder? We haven't watched Warner's together or Gunderson's together all the way yet. We've talked about it, but we haven't watched them all together. So it's either Snyder's or Noon's. But they're going and talking to the other guys in Jack's house. And Jack's car is sitting right outside. And it's like a dark SUV. Not SUV, Jesus Christ. It's a dark Volkswagen four-door vehicle. So if it was Jack, then I would expect that he would be in the darker car. Who I think she might be seeing here, and I know that a lot of people think that it might be the patrol car, and that's very possible. But we also need to remember that David Barriocha has came out and told us that he was driving as a sober bro and was in that area around 4 o'clock in the morning and had a weird feeling that he needed to hurry up and get home because it was just like eerie over there or whatever. And he is like a reddish haired person. And his hair was shorter back then. He was a lot more clean cut than whatever the hell he ended up turning himself into. Okay, if you watch my Charlie Kirk video on him, then you've seen there's a drastic difference between what he looked like when this happened and what he looked like now. So it could be Barriocha. I don't know what the frick he was driving. I don't know, but they've kept that secret from us for a super, super long time. And once we found that out, he was one of the ones that I was like really curious. Could it be him? And the reason why they haven't told us is the same kind of weird reason why they never told us that everybody else but Kaylee was at the Sigma Chi party. Because why would you hide stuff like that if it was so innocent? I just don't understand the reasoning. So it could be him. Could be.
Because he was texting me the entire way. ETA, he can't. I'm trying to drive, dude. I'll give you my ETA when I get there. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. I'm coming all the way from Pullman. And people they're very impatient sometimes.
Oh, of course, yes.
I can't remember anybody really walking around. He actually ended up coming out and walking to me because the order. The other order, I actually parked down here this time, and I parked down closer to the corner because I wasn't sure where the apartment number was, and I ended up walking all the way around to try to find the apartment, and ended up having to go upstairs, downstairs, all over the place, honestly, to find it. And it was in the center towards the end here, but it was upstairs. And I saw two people. It was a couple. They walked up that way, and they were coming into an apartment when I was.
No, we don't have a time for this. We don't have a time for when she's talking about how she dropped off the bigger order with the guy with the weird name and then this order where she sees this couple walking. We don't have a time for this. All we can go off of is the time that she pulls into the neighborhood on the 1112 camera. But since she's so freaking slow at everything that she does, this is just as much of a guess as when the DoorDash was actually like placed when it comes to the 11/22 order. We don't know. So this could have been 2 hours before. It could have been an hour before. Who knows? We have no timestamps for this stuff.
Dropping off the order. They were college kids. They were just coming home, but then they were loud. They were having a good time. I just had come home from the evening. Yeah. Lots of partying here and noise and everything all around. It was really hard to tell, but as far as around here, it's so dark.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is dark.
It's so dark. And I don't like those apartments. It's the first time I've ever delivered to those apartments this night. But my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, had told me that those were not good apartments in the past when we were younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said that they actually considered those the white Harlem of Moscow. You know, they call the white apartments down by Little Whitmore white.
The white Harlem. Now, remember what we heard in the beginning when it came to like the DoorDash driver. And I don't know how true this is anymore because there was so many misconceptions in the very beginning about who the DoorDash driver was. There was like an older man that had come out and tried to say that he was the DoorDash driver and said that he was like a sober driver because his daughter had died in a drunk driving accident. So he was like, just as like something that he did. But then obviously it turned out that wasn't true. We know who the freaking driver was when it comes to the girls getting home, not the DoorDash driver, but like the Uber driver guy, sober driver guy. But there was a comment made, and again, I don't know, but there was a comment made about how like you just don't like stick around in that area. You drop people off and you get out. And we know that there was like a girl who had her car broken into and her underwear were moved around, and like there's a lot of clothes in the road. Like there's underwear just all over the place and clothes all over the place and shoes up in the power lines. So I don't know. But you know, whenever you also hear that the girls would come home and the door would be wide open and they didn't know who the frick it was. They were grabbing golf clubs because they didn't know what was going on. Obviously, this wasn't as safe as an area as the university wants to try to pretend it was. Because, you know, nothing happens in Moscow as you live right next to a place called the freaking White Harlem. How is that the mindset? Like, I'm telling you right now, the university is doing some serious brainwashing to make them believe that there's nothing to worry about here.
Harlem, but these are the real white Harlem apartments.
Gotcha.
And so when I pulled up to it, I was like, really, this is where I am? Because I've lived here my whole life, but still, I'll end up in a few places in Moscow where I'm like, what the heck, where am I?
Yeah.
So
do you think perhaps you're, you know, I just asked this just to clarify, but do you think maybe the fact that this gentleman in the car was, you know, seemed out of place, could it have been the environment that was like kind of a weird, darker environment?
He said he did.
Or what struck you about?
just the fact that he didn't pay attention to me at all.
Yeah.
And that seemed just odd.
So it wasn't the fact that it was, because you're probably used to being, well, I guess, are you used to being out in the dark by yourself? You know,
I am a lot. That's actually why I have, I told my boyfriend when we first started getting together, I was like, you know, I want to make it so you.
Okay, so if you do an order on DoorDash, you have your cart page where it has all your totals at the bottom, and then you go to continue to go to the next part. Where at the top, it'll have the name of the place you're ordering from and like a little map where you can choose a standard delivery time, which means like you want it like you're about to put the order in and you want it to come as it naturally would, which is in my example, 14 to 24 minutes. Or you can hit schedule. And it lets you schedule it up for like a week. Because like I could do it later on today. I could do it tomorrow. And I can do it all the way up until November 25th on Tuesday to schedule ahead. And then at the bottom, after it says you're home, you give instructions for where you want it. Then there's the phone number. Then there's a send as gift option. And you can make a little digital card. You can put a little digital note in there. It has your name on it. And then you put the recipient's information in with their phone number. And it looks like you have to have a phone number, but I don't know. You can add somebody from your contacts. Can it be like your number? No, I guess it can't be. It has to be like an actual separate number when it comes to a gift thing. And I'm guessing that they also get like tracking information that way. And yeah. Like you can definitely schedule ahead like almost a week. and send it off to somebody else. You definitely can. Well, thank you for being here for so long, Avril. 9 months is a long time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, it's really easy for that to happen. But I just really wish that they would give us like the timestamp that it was made. Thank you for the 2 witchy was. I didn't even see that. The G family claims they aren't reading any docs. Yeah. Yeah, no. On the interview room's interview, they basically admitted to that they're not really looking at anything. But obviously neither is Chris and his wife on the interview room, because they said that they went through all 2,300 documents in 4 hours, but didn't know what the blue substance was. And it's in there. I gave them the page number in my review video of that travesty of an interview. So yeah. And that's what's also wild to me. Like y'all, the Goncalves has spent like 3 years doing nothing but tossing false information out into the ether, refused to take any responsibility for it. And now that the truth is out there, they're refusing to even look at it. And Olivia is having to filter everything and basically tiptoe and cater to her parents' feelings when it should be the other way around. Like Olivia is being the parent. But it seems like that's been her like stance in that family for a super long time from some certain things that she has said. But you know what? That's neither here nor there.
And follow my GPS on my phone. And he felt really uncomfortable, and it took me weeks to get him talked into it. I was like, with my history, with everything. I know DoorDash knows where I am. I know they track me, but I think it would be smart if you could track me on your phone, just because, and a lot of times he's on the phone with me.
If DoorDash is tracking you, why do you feel the need? Why does somebody else need to be tracking you? That's why I say you've got to be delivering something else. Because whoever's tracking your location, is it also the same person hanging out and waiting for you in the Jack in the Box parking lot so that they know where you're at with their items? So that they know that you're not taking off with their money? Is that how that works? I'm really curious, like how many devices that she runs when she's out.
I am a lot. That's actually why I have, I told my boyfriend when we first started getting together, I was like, I want to make it so you can follow my GPS on my phone. And he felt really uncomfortable, and it took me weeks to get him talked into it. I was like, with my history, with everything. I know DoorDash knows where I am. I know they track me, but I think it would be smart if you could track me on your phone, just because, and a lot of times he's on the phone with me and he's talking to me, especially if I'm somewhere where I feel extremely uncomfortable. I'll call him and I'll have him on the phone and have him on speakerphone. The customers don't even have a clue about it, but I'll have him on there. And he's got me earpieces and stuff, so I can keep him. That way, just to make me feel a little bit safer, because I tend to not feel so safe.
Did you call him that night at all? Was there any time you called him?
We actually were fighting that night. He wanted me to bring home groceries and pop and stuff, and he has recently just been having a hard time.
No, there's not. Moscow PD doesn't have it. They originally, just to like run that down, they originally told me they only had like 2:25 in the morning to 12:05 p.m. on the 13th and the 13th only. Then we found the documents. Well, the documents came out that said that they actually had from like 12:55 on the 13th to like this sometime on the 17th of November. So then I talked to them, and I have the 3 phone calls me and her had that day all recorded. She first tells me that they have no idea where it's at. Then she calls me back and says, oh, we found it. It was in a subfolder somewhere. And they actually do have the 12:55 on the 13th to sometime on the 17th. There's nothing in there about footage on the 12th. I wish there was, because I would really like to have from like maybe like 8 p.m. forward when they woke up from their so-say naps. But that doesn't exist. We have no record of it being in any report that anything from 11/12 exists for the 11/12 camera. There's nothing on there. Okay, but if there's no document that says that they have it, then there's no way for us to get it unless somebody else like the Goncalveses have it and they've been withholding it, which is probably what they've been doing, because they've been withholding a lot of information. But that's what Moscow's told me. That's what we're waiting on. That's what we paid for. That's what the channel's paid for. The 11:55 a.m. on the 13th to 12:05 p.m. And there's going to be a couple more timestamps that we're going to be looking at too.
So he wanted to know why I hadn't gotten popped yet. Then I hadn't gotten around to it yet. I had been so busy, and the orders, there were so many of them. And so he was not on the phone with me at that one, but he was on the phone with me when I delivered the first one.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. Okay. Kind of the next thing I was just curious about is, so when you're looking at the building that you eventually deliver the food to, so you have the main story where the door is, where the light is, okay? Where from that front door did you see the girl that kept looking at you?
She was up at the top, the very top left-hand window.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she just kept jumping up.
See, very top is the bathroom. The very top on the third floor window is the bathroom that shares a wall with Maddie. And she's going to say that the girl was like jumping up and down. It looked like she was maybe swinging, that she was maybe on her bed. Weird movements being discussed here. Really strange movements being discussed here.
Down and up and down.
So the very, very,
Very
not the middle one, but the very one.
The very top.
Okay, top left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. And you said when she was jumping up and down, can you kind of describe that to me a little bit?
By jumping up and down, I mean like every time she noticed that I saw her, she'd disappear from the window.
Okay.
She jumped down.
I see.
And then as soon as like I would turn back around or I'd come back by the window again, she'd be up there looking at me again. And
See, what does that mean when I'd come back by the window again? Does that mean that you were like walking around in the parking lot area? What does that mean when you'd come back around? Because apparently, according to you, the way that she's going to describe this is that she was parked in her car. The dumpster is off to her left when she turns her head and the house is off to her right. She's having to like lean forward sort of over her steering wheel in order to see what's going on in that top window. So what the frick do you mean when you get by the window again? Oh my God. What do you mean?
Okay, top left. Okay, gotcha. And you said when she was jumping up and down, can you kind of describe that to me a little bit?
By jumping up and down, I mean like every time she noticed that I saw her, she'd disappear from the window.
Okay.
She jumped down.
I see.
And then as soon as like I would turn back around or I'd come back by the window again, she'd be up there looking at me again. And I thought I was losing my mind because I thought maybe she was in a hammock or something swinging up there. I don't know if it was in a bed or, you're on campus. You just don't know.
So then you have to wonder, is this like a silhouette of someone being attacked? Maybe. Because this is the bathroom window. And I know that there's nothing in the bathroom apparently. But what other movements could you associate besides like someone like going at it like crazy rabbits in the bathroom and there's no proof of that happening? What other movement can you associate with somebody popping their head up and down and look like they were swinging around in a hammock? And now we're at this scenario where we've got 4 people dead. I don't know what other movements could be going on for it to look that way in a bathroom. And that's where this window is. It's the bathroom. It's not the stairs where it like turns. That faces the apartments next door. No, I have one in my garage. I have a hammock. I have an avocado hammock in my garage. I can. I guess I can go to Google and just pull up a picture of the house real quick. Yeah, I can show you what I'm talking about. I think I had it in my breakdown video. I wanted to, okay, right here. This is the perfect angle right here. Okay. I don't know if I can make this bigger. I think I can. Let me make it bigger real quick. Okay. Okay. So this is an image from Reddit while the house and stuff was still up there on Google. Okay. So this is the one that I showed in my breakdown live because I feel like this is about the area where she might have been parked. Because, and maybe a little bit further back, maybe, but I feel like this is about it because she again mentions how the dumpster's to this way, the house is to this way. Okay, you see like the angle into the parking lot. So now let me show you the house photo. Oh, hold on. Oh, well, that one's not going to let me make it bigger. Hold on a second. Okay. This is the window right here that she would have seen. If she's right here and she's saying that it's the top on the left, if she's sitting in her vehicle, this is your left, and she's facing the house, it's this top window right here. That's the bathroom. That's what I mean. This window right here is the one in the living room. You walk up the stairs, and it's this window, and there's that corner shelf right here where like the TV is and the Wi-Fi box and stuff, right? You go through the living room. You go up the stairs. It turns right here. It goes up again. This right here, this window is the window that you see where the like refrigerator and stuff is. And if you go into the bathroom, you can see the view across the street in the bathroom window in some of the ISP photos. So this would be the window that she's talking about, if she can see that one. That's why I'm questioning like the angle and just exactly where she's parked, because this is such an offset part of the house. It goes so far back on the roof. I just don't know if you could actually see that window. So that's another thing I question when it comes to her recollection of stuff. Like I wish that they would show us on the map, like what they're looking at right here, exactly where she's claiming that she was parked, because that's the best that I can come up with by what she's claiming.
It seemed odd to me because she wasn't coming down for the order. That's what made me think that I had the wrong house as well.
Kaylee.
Yeah. Because
it's Kaylee's window on the top right. So the left one is the bathroom. The middle one is where the refrigerator and all the little things are at the, once you get up the actual stairs onto the third floor, like the little walkway hallway. And then the other window is Kaylee's.
The time they come, if they see you, they come down there to help you out. They work for food. And it had already been, I don't know how long since, it was a very busy night. I was running nonstop the entire shift. Every time I had to clock out was to just get a breather.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel like if you're sitting, that's why I hate the fact that this house is gone. I hate the fact this house is gone. Because this matters. This is part of her story. To know exactly where she was parked, to know her height, to know exactly which position she was in, if she had to actually look behind a wall, if she was too far down to even see that top window. I would love to be able to actually figure this out. But the damn house is gone.
And get some gas. Yeah. And then clock back on because it was running back on and back running around.
Because see, if it was that floor and there was music and stuff playing and Dylan is being honest about anything and there might have actually been music and singing and Kaylee was playing with the dog and everything was good, then the swinging around and the moving around and stuff like that could be her dancing with Murphy on the second floor in the living room, because that's that window. It's very possible. I just really wish that we knew for sure, and they don't make it clear. His report doesn't make it clear, and we're not going to trial, so we'll probably never hear from this chick ever again, because she could have came out by now and done the right thing. She could have womaned up Miss Molly and come out and been honest and said, okay, I didn't see him. Everything that I said in my original interview was real. This is what happened. This is why my story changed. But she's not going to, because she knows she's going to risk her little ass going back to prison. I just really question everything whenever now we're hearing Dylan say that she had dreams about a woman with a big nose like Molly has in black walking into the house that night, who ended up being super nice at the end eventually. There's just so much here. So much here. I hate everything. Oh my God, I hate this case.
I remember Jack in the Box even put a table out for us because they had so many orders they couldn't even keep up. That's what we were doing. Yeah.
How late do they stay open?
Jack in the Box, they are supposed to be 24 hours, but they actually close down about 4 or 5 sometimes to reboot their system. But they're the only place around here that's open all night.
I was gonna say, I don't remember because I barely go to Pullman, but it's like I know all the other places here in Moscow changed their hours a couple years back, and
everything else closes at midnight. They say 1 or 2 on their websites and stuff, but they actually don't stay.
They get you.
And Taco Bell and Pullman will stay open past midnight, but their dining room is not, only their drive-thru.
Right, just drive-through.
And so they shut down their DoorDash too, but they don't shut down the orders online. So we get orders a lot and get stuck in the drive-thru to get the orders canceled. really sucks.
Probably. Yeah, that's
And so we spend a lot of time fighting with them.
of course.
I don't like the Taco Bell and Pullman, they make me mad.
Yeah.
I sat there for an hour and 15 minutes before with an order and then telling me that they had the order, they were working on it, checked every 15 minutes, and then an hour and 15 minutes later, like, oh, we never got it. I'm like, I sat here for an hour and 15 minutes to get paid $2.
Yeah, well, especially.
I don't even believe that story. No one who has a working brain would have sat at a freaking Taco Bell for an hour and 15 minutes. So, I don't believe you.
When it's, your thing is turning and burning, that's what makes your money.
So when something like that happens, you only get half the order.
Mhm.
So I got $2 to stand there for an hour and 15 minutes. I was not happy.
Yeah. I wouldn't
They
be happy.
tried to make me leave before because of him. I was like, really? He's like, you're mascot.
Yeah, seriously, he's about the chillest dog I may have ever met.
I'm like, you can't actually make him leave, but
Yeah.
okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. And he's not a service dog. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
And they feel like an ass, but
Oh, so Taco Bell didn't like the fact that she was walking in there with her dog that wasn't a service dog and she thinks that she's above the rules. That's what just happened here. I didn't catch that the first time.
they're always slow. Their orders are slow, and people who order from, they don't tend to tip very well, to be honest.
Really?
The college kids from Taco Bell.
Hmm.
It's usually like $1, even though you worked your hell to get it.
Right, yeah. So the girl, just to return to this, the girl in the window, can you kind of describe her? You said she had
She had long brown hair.
brown hair. Okay.
I want to say after looking at the pictures, I'm sorry, I don't watch the news, so I didn't know.
This is the interesting part.
I started looking, I think it was one of the brunette, the sisters,
Okay.
if I had to guess, but I was so far away, I couldn't. The college kids, there are all so many of them, and I see so many faces.
See, it's weird that she's saying that. Like, I still don't believe that you can tell what color somebody's hair is in the window. I still believe it's more of a silhouette than anything else. But she's sitting here automatically being like, I'm just going to assume based on watching the news, it's got to be one of their sisters. So that's instantly putting either pregnant Olivia, which we know is in California and was big and pregnant at the time, like swollen and big and pregnant. All right. And then Jasmine. Those are the only two that are brunette sisters of the victims. The only two. So I don't know why she's even saying that other than to divert whatever's happening here. Because why? Why are you even mentioning that part? I just don't understand what's her point.
I've been trying to rack my brain too about the name that was on the order, and I can't remember the name on the bag, and it's been.
I'm sorry, but given your history, I really highly doubt that's a name that you would forget. Like, seriously, that's literally how Xana would introduce herself. Xana, like Xanax, but without the X. That's how she would introduce herself. She would play with it. I highly doubt this is something that she would forget. I don't believe her at all.
Driving me nuts. I'm sure that there's a record of it through DoorDash. I wish they let us keep some of that stuff, but we don't get to keep the pictures that we take, or the orders, or any record of any of it.
It just goes to them.
It all goes through the app. Occasionally it'll screw up and I'll get a phone call or a text message that'll go through my phone instead of through DoorDash app, but I looked and it didn't.
Okay. You didn't get any messages from whoever ordered this that night? Okay, gotcha.
And I don't see how. You're late with my order and it tells me that you're like outside of my house. I got a message one day, like the guy was literally like turning into my neighborhood. But for some reason, DoorDash thought that he was lost. So I got a message like through the DoorDash app texting me saying, looks like your Dasher is having a hard time finding your address. Go ahead and give them a call. And it gave me like a link that opened to the app and it got my Dasher on the phone. And he was like, no, I'm just driving. I should be there in about a minute. I don't know. I guess maybe it's just delayed. There was like some sort of glitch. So, and I also know that whenever I've used like services and DoorDash, is it DoorDash and Lyft? DoorDash and Lyft partner together. And then Uber obviously has Uber Eats. And I've had to use both of them. But anytime there's like somebody lost or like the GPS signal isn't working right, like the app will give you like a message. It'll be like, hey, this person again, like maybe can't find the address, or it'll be like, it looks like you're not in the location you're supposed to be in to meet your driver. Can you start walking to the location? Or like when they've come to pick me up, they've had to like go around the parking lot in a circle because it's not grabbing it. Like it's not showing it in the location that it can now move forward. There's all kinds of things. Okay. I got taken to Walmart one time. The guy took the back way instead of going the right way. And it asked me if I was basically being kidnapped, if it needed to call 911 because my location thing was taking me extra time to get to where I needed to go. DoorDash does the same shit. There's no way that it saw her in the location and not marking the food delivered for 15 minutes. And she didn't start getting like notifications that the other person on the other end of that account didn't start getting notifications. Because I know I have. None of the way that she's making this procedure sound is how I've dealt with this in reality. And a lot of DoorDashers that are actual dashers are like, no, bro, this doesn't sound accurate. Something's wrong.
Probably would help you find a place.
Yeah. And again, the girl, I thought that's what she was doing, and I thought that's why she kept jumping down out of the window once I saw her, because, you know, you're running around with a Jack-in-the-Box bag. I mean, it wasn't a big bag either, it was a small order.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't running around with it.
Well, it's just like, was it
She did not have it in her hand. She did not have it in her hand in the 1112 camera. We can see that.
One bag, two
Just
bags,
one bag. One small bag. I would say maybe a value meal at that.
Okay.
They don't let us open them.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
They usually have the order written out on the screen if you look at it, to see if they need straws or stuff like that. But honestly, I can't remember anything in particular about the order.
Gotcha.
I was running back and forth so many times. I actually had a friend that was sitting at Jack-in-the-Box parking lot waiting for me for the last like 3 times of running back and forth from these orders because he was waiting for me to kick back with him and eat a hamburger.
Yeah.
Too.
3 orders. For 3 orders of her going back and forth between Pullman and Moscow, this man, who's not her boyfriend, was in the parking lot waiting for her so they could eat a hamburger together. Let's play it back. It's just some crackhead shit if I've heard it.
It's just like, was it one bag, two bags?
One bag.
One bag.
One small bag. I would say maybe a value meal at that.
Okay.
They don't let us open them.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
They usually have the order written out on the screen if you look at it, to see if they need straws or stuff like that. But honestly, I can't remember anything in particular about the order.
Gotcha.
I was running back and forth so many times. I actually had a friend that was sitting at Jack-in-the-Box parking lot waiting for me for the last like 3 times of running back and forth from these orders because he was waiting for me to kick back with him and eat a hamburger.
Yeah.
Too. And I never got to.
Never made it.
Yeah. He actually left when I was at that order.
Yeah. Okay.
He left when you were at the last order because that was the last drug deal. The F, bro. Payne is the lead investigator in this case. Let's just keep that in mind. All that head for what?
Okay. Well, Alex, do you have anything else you'd like to?
Yeah, that was fantastic. First of all,
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, your memory of just that bit was fantastic. We have a couple techniques that might help you to remember a little bit more, just to kind of maybe ask questions in a little bit of a different way, that might help jog some of that if you're up for that.
Of course.
That might help. It might do more if you're willing to do that. Before we even go there, I just had a couple other questions that maybe before we dig a little bit, in a different manner. I think you had said that when you saw the man in the car, he didn't look out of place. Was that right? Am I remembering that right?
He looked out of place because he didn't look at me.
Okay.
That's what was out of place. The fact that he did not make any kind of gesture towards the fact that I was there. That's why I remember him.
Okay.
That is, again, is that not weird? Like, actually, is that not strange that she is so disturbed at the fact that this man did not pay attention to her? That's what she keeps mentioning. That is weird to me. And maybe it's because I listen to a lot of like second date update stuff. and there's been some women on there that sound like this, but like in that sort of like scenario. So maybe I'm just like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm thinking that kind of stuff, like, as I'm listening to this, but that is just weird. That's your red flag, is the guy didn't look at you. He didn't break his neck as he was driving at 4:00 in the morning to see what your ass was doing. And that's why it's a red flag. It's just so strange. She's trying to make the only other person out at that time look more suspicious than her, and she's not doing a good job.
There was nothing that made him look disheveled or out of like running in a hurry or like he was late or.
Okay. It sounds like
Nothing that made him look disheveled or in a hurry, besides the fact that he looked like he needed to shave and he wasn't paying attention to me and his dome light was on and he was like paying attention to where he was going. See, even her description of this guy is really back and forth. Like normally if someone needs to shave and their hair's a little bit messy and, you know, they're sort of just like zoned out as she's describing it, wouldn't you describe that as disheveled? Because now she's opposite. Thanks for the $1.99, Verity. I appreciate that. Thank you. This lady's just so back and forth. I don't like being this confused. And this is the most confusing case that I've ever seen, I think, in my entire life.
like when you're driving around on campus, there's lots of college students and lots of that stuff around. Did he look to fit in kind of
He
with the
seemed a
people
little
that
bit older
older?
to me,
Okay.
but in those apartments, I didn't know that those were campus apartments either, or if those are what kind of housing they are. So I wasn't sure as far as, but he did look older than like the average college kid. Yes.
Okay. So when you say older, what does that mean to you?
Age is so hard. I would probably say late 20s, 30s, somewhere around there. You know,
Okay.
probably.
That's like the only thing she says that matches Kohberger is the age look. Other than that, it's all different.
I would think out of college.
Okay. You said you remember that the car was tan?
Yes,
If I remember.
in a sedan.
Okay, and a sedan. So what does that mean to you, a sedan?
A four-door.
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 Okay.
Like family car with a dome light on.
Okay. Do you recall what the interior of the car looked like?
It was light.
Light color?
Light interior.
Okay. Anything else that you saw in the car? Was there?
No, I didn't really look. I just saw him and the fact that he didn't look at me, and I was like, okay. And I kept looking for the apartment and the number because I was trying to get that food.
Okay.
It keeps getting cold.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't want to get a bad star and a bad mark for having living cold.
You're like 2 hours late. You were already going to get a bad star. Like, why is she laughing like this?
Food.
Okay.
So I was trying to make sure it was warm.
That's how you get the stars, right?
Yeah. Actually, I get stars for bringing extra sauces.
Interesting.
I don't love the stars for that.
Gotta have it.
I have bags and bags of extra sauce from every restaurant, and that's how I get the stars.
Jack in the Box order, and you throw in some Arby's sauce while you're at it. So.
So she has bags and bags and bags and bags of sauces from all these different restaurants that she just leaves in her freaking car in the sun day after day after day after day after day. I wonder how many people she's given food poisoning. That's wild.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times when Taco Bell's been out of their hot sauce because they have like 8 different hot sauces. So I have huge bags and Ziploc bags and tapes and stickers and all sorts of stuff to like try and get it to
Order.
Yeah, there's so much stuff in the backseat of my car. So just shoveled. It's awful.
It's worth it for the
Right?
stars.
It's like air
Yeah.
damn airplane booze.
Do you remember? So
Thank you for the $4.99. I appreciate that so much. I don't want to butcher your name, so I'm sorry. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. But thank you so much.
obviously, the interaction with that tan sedan stood out to you for a reason. But do you remember seeing any other vehicles? Anything else driving? Or
It was so everything was calming down at that point. There was still a lot of activity up here at these apartments in this house, it seemed like, and down here at the back you could hear a noise, but around here it seemed like everything was calm and quiet and dark and shut down
okay.
for the most.
Which how, bro? Like we hear on the camera footage, not 30 seconds after she pulls in, it's loud. So she's saying that it's like all around them. that there's stuff going on in the back, there's stuff going on in the front towards the apartments, and everything in the middle where the house is, where she is nice and quiet. Then explain the camera. Explain the noise that goes on the entire time that you're there. That makes no sense.
Part.
You mentioned too, and please forgive me if you showed Brett this on the map, but you talked about two people who you saw walking into an apartment.
Yes, that was.
Can you just show Brett, since I'm back here, kind of where they were walking from, where they were walking to?
They just walked up and into the center here, where you could get into the center of buildings. I was actually on the second level in here, and they had come up the stairs and walked by and went behind me. So I'm not sure what apartment they went to.
Okay. And some of the reason we're asking all these questions, obviously, is just like you were there around at the same time. What did you see? What did you hear? And we're trying to track down as many witnesses as we can, so that we can ask them the same questions and try and figure out where we're at. So what I'd like to do, if you're amenable, I may swap places with Brett there for a minute, so I'm not yelling from the back of the room. I'm amazed at all the detail just that you remember just from.
It was an odd delivery. I know. Yeah, I remember getting home and saying that was not right.
And if you haven't seen this and you're annoyed at this point, it moves in a second.
And what made it odd? It's just the girl in the window, and then the gentleman, and then just the last order of the night. It just had stood out, and then the map wanted me to go to the center.
Okay.
For that center courtyard in there, that seemed odd to me.
Okay, and just again, because I was sitting back there, when you say the center
The
courtyard.
center courtyard that's in the over here,
Okay.
back there, I couldn't really see. There's so many bushes and it's so dark that there was definite light glow.
Which is weird that she's calling it a courtyard. I guess because they're so used to like actual dorms, maybe. But what she means by that is the backyard area of that house, not like an actual courtyard.
Going through, and you could see kind of stuffed animals and stuff, and just inviting, but I wasn't going to walk back there. That seemed like no.
Probably a smart choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is, what I'm going to try and ask you to do is have you kind of think back to being there, to being, let's do from the time that you are coming down, this is Taylor, so like you're pointing to the neighborhood, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do is close your eyes.
Now, this is the exercise that I was telling you guys about. It's going to be a few minutes of the agent doing her own example to Molly. So pay attention, and I don't remember exactly when it switches, but I'll make sure to catch it when it finally switches, because it took me a second to realize when it was finally Molly talking.
Think back, trying to put yourself back to that time, to that place, and we're going to talk through what you saw, what you heard, if there was any smells that you recall, and just try and be there and actually see those things, okay? I would like you, to the extent you are able, to give me every detail you can imagine, okay? We're not in a hurry, we're not in a rush, we can do this as long as we're able to. And we hope that the more we're able to go slow and kind of almost be there and look around.
I know the time I was there is an important time.
Just if what other things may come to mind, okay? And I'm gonna do it first. I'm gonna just tell you about getting into my car at home, just to give you an idea of how much detail that I hope we can remember. Just to give you a sense of kind of how much. Once you start, I'll do it first, and then I'll ask you to do it. Once you start, I'm not going to interrupt you. Okay, I'm not going to ask you any questions at all. I just want you to remember as much as you can. We'll go from the time you pulled on to King Road from Taylor, all through you said it's about 15 minutes, right? So all through that 15 minutes until you're pulling back out. Okay. And this may take that whole 15 minutes. Okay, that's fine. It may take longer if you are able to kind of really visualize what you saw while you were there. Okay. One of the easiest ways we find to do it is to talk about it as if you're there, right? I see this, I'm hearing this, that kind of thing. Okay. We'll do that first, and then we may do this again a couple different ways. Just again, every time we go through it. Sometimes new memories will pop up, new things will kind of be jogged by other things. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna go first, just to give you a sense. I'm gonna tell you about getting into my truck at my house. Okay, so I'll start from the time I leave my house till the time I get into the truck. Okay? So I'm gonna take a minute, kind of visualize it, picture it.
It's a long example, guys. I just don't want to fast forward it.
Okay, so I open the door from the inside. There's a silver handle, but it's one of the handles that has a loop on it. So it goes from the top and then it rounds down to the bottom and it meets the door in two places and then has like a latch on the top. I usually leave the front unlocked, so the deadbolt is already open. I can push down on the lever and pull the door towards me. The hinges are on the left, so the door will swing from the right side to the left side.
She's giving her an example of how detailed and the point of view in which she wants Molly to recollect what happened that night. That's what this is. She's giving her an example of what she wants her to do in way of telling her exactly what she felt, saw, smelt, heard, sensed, anything from as soon as she drives in to as soon as she drives out. And she's just giving like a really just odd, detailed example about everything. It's annoying, but I got to leave it in here so that you guys understand the whole concept.
And then I have a storm door. There's a storm door there. It's like black frame, but with a divider in the middle.
Hey.
And the handle for that is also on the right. And that has, again, another, like a latch push down to open that door. And that door swings out. So as I walk through that door, I turn to my right and kind of hold that storm door with my butt or my back, and reach around with my right hand and grab the outside handle of the main door, which is all black, but the handle again is silver like on the inside. I can pull that door closed behind me, and I have a keypad latch, so I have to lock it with a button, but I can I push any button to latch it. But 2 is the button I used. And I have to kind of pull on the door as I'm locking it, or it won't lock. So I pull on the door. And then it gives kind of like a beep to tell me that it's locked appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
And then I step back from the storm door. And I let that door just kind of fall, but it never slams closed. It just kind of fades closed. I'll turn around, have a single step there. I can step down from the front porch onto the sidewalk. And then the sidewalk, I curve around to the left. And there's a car in the driveway there. I don't like to walk in the grass because the grass is always real wet. So I kind of walk into the driveway and like scoot alongside of that car. It's actually a truck. It's a black pickup truck.
She could totally interrupt and be like, okay, I get it. She could, because this goes on for a while.
And it's parked face in so that the pointing towards the street. I'm gonna walk alongside it, so I guess I'm on the left side of it. And I walk down, it's maybe 5 or 6 more feet after the end of the truck, after the bumper. Across, there's a sidewalk that crosses the driveway, and into the road. No cars are coming. So I just cross the street there, and there's more like parking on the opposite side of the street. There's a grassy area there,
Yeah.
and there's parking spots that not parallel parking, whatever the other one is, just straight in.
Regular.
Along right in front of the house, but on the other side of the road. And my car is in the first parking spot, the silver Tundra. There's a tonneau cover on the back. And every time when I walk to the front, to the driver's door, there's a golf ball dent over the driver's side rear wheel well that I see every time. Walk past the rear doors to the front doors. I have to click open the door with the key fob. Click that open, and it gives it like a 2 beep. It's like a beep beep for the unlock. And then open the door, and I notice on the grassy area there, there's kids that sometimes play in there. They weren't there when I left, but the soccer ball was there. And one of those orange cones, like they used for the goals, was kind of right in front of the truck. And then I get in the truck. It's gray on the inside, a black dash, black steering wheel, and black dashboard. I have the keys in my right hand, so put the keys in ignition, turn the ignition, because it still has a regular key ignition. And there's a University of Tennessee mask, like a COVID mask, that hangs on the left,
Yeah, because it's used
like where the blinker is.
information for it.
So, mask there. And on the right, there's the shift is down low. It's right in the console. And I went to put my phone in the cup holder to try and plug it in, because it plugs into the front dash, but I couldn't find the cord. And so I had to kind of dig in between the seat and the console to find that.
It's some sort of like static. It like comes and goes. I can hear it too.
But I found it. And as soon as I plugged it in, the music from the phone came on. I don't know what song it was, but it was definitely a Luke Bryan song. And it was like halfway through, because I'm not sure. But it was in the middle. I remember it popped on right in the middle of the song.
Like, this is insane, honestly.
And when I looked up, when I put the truck in reverse to back out of the parking spot, there's no backup camera, so I looked in the rearview mirror, and
Probably.
there was a couple walking a dog along the sidewalk. It's like maybe a shepherd, like an Australian shepherd of some sort. It's like brown and white, and she had on a blue, like parka. She had brown hair, jeans, and he was taller than her. Like a gray hoodie and jeans, and they were
Shouldn't be too much longer.
walking up the hill. So
That poor dog, he's like been so still. He is just chilling throughout this whole thing. You can barely see his little ears.
if I'm in my mirror, they were moving from the passenger side to my side, because I saw them in through the mirror. And then it put it in reverse and backed out. no one there. Okay? Good sense of,
Okay, she's finally done. Now Molly is going to try.
how much we're talking about. So it'll take some time. Just close your eyes. I had my eyes closed because it certainly helps you to see it. Okay? Before we get started, any questions about that? Okay. So, again, I'm not gonna ask you any questions. Okay, so if you can close your eyes, take a minute, put yourself back there, remember being in this area here as you're approaching into the neighborhood. Close your eyes, take your time, and when you're ready, when you can see yourself there, you can go ahead and start.
Remember driving up the road before the turn and seeing on my phone that I was going back to that area again, being like, holy cow, another delivery here. Turning up King Road, taking the left onto King Road and then taking right
I have no idea.
onto Queen and trying to watch my phone, telling me where to go, watching the map that I keep on the satellite so I can see the buildings, because it's easier to find places on the buildings. The addresses on the satellite mode. And all of a sudden my phone saying you are there, and I pulled
Yeah, notice that too? She instantly started off in that weird tone. Isn't that so creepy?
over to the right, right there by the garbage, the dumpsters right there next to me as I turned my head. And I put my car in park. And
Maybe that is the dog snoring. It could be.
I remember sitting back and taking a breath for a few seconds because I was very tired and very exhausted, and started looking around for the numbers and not being able to see them. And
Now that's all I hear is that snore sound.
my lights on my car seemed so bright. They seemed really, really bright of where I was sitting because it was so dark out. And I'm looking over to my right, and looking at the house and seeing the bluish white house and the light shining so bright, and looking up and at the windows. And as I'm looking at the windows, I see movement in the top left hand, and there's a girl up there with her hair just hanging down. It's not put up in a ponytail. It's kind of.
But also notice that she's not going to actually like go into the detail the way that this person wants her to. She's just going to retell the exact same story. Nothing else. No other deep detail. It's literally the exact same thing again.
Gnarly. It's not gonna. It's almost like pajamas, or just end of the day wear, just kind of hanging out in the window. And her head kind of tilted and kind of looking around, and it seemed odd. And I remember leaning forward in my car and up to the steering wheel to look to see her better. And when she realized I was looking at her, she jumped down very quickly and kind of disappeared. And I was like, okay, that was strange.
Crazy,
Waited
right?
a moment, looking around still to find the numbers. Realizing that must not have been it, because the girl didn't come down and I didn't see numbers. I'm trying to remember what number the apartment buildings were. Looking again at my phone to see if there was an apartment complex unit. And seeing again there wasn't. Telling Nike to stay. He was sleeping in his, they keep a dog bed in the passenger seat that hooks into. I'll take a leash and I tie it around the passenger side, because if I have to slam on my brakes too hard on the car, then Nike goes flying. And he's not happy when he goes flying into the floor, so he stays in his little bed and stays warm. I told him to stay. He couldn't come out this time to this delivery because I didn't know where I was going. And I left the food and I left the car running. I didn't turn it off because I wanted the headlights to stay on. I wanted the extra light to see as I was walking around.
So as she's walking and we see her in 11:12, the dog is in the car and the car is on, meaning the headlights are on. So it goes back to, is that what the whole somebody's here, someone is here statement is from? A car being parked right in front of the house just for minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes at a time seems plausible.
I remember getting out of the car, it was cold, closing the car door and locking and realizing it looked like garbage all over the road. As I'm walking up the road, I'm looking at my map on my phone, and then seeing almost it looked like dirty underwear in the road.
Lots of
I
dirty
remember
underwear.
shaking my head and thinking, geez, I'm on campus. And I kept walking, turning my flashlight on and looking, and thinking that's gotta be the house. Looking up at the window again, the girl's still not there. She didn't come down. That can't be right. Walking up to the other apartments and seeing that the number isn't correct.
Well, see, and that's another thing too. It's a no contact order. So I could be staring at you through the window. I could be physically looking into your soul the way that your little friend went and told Drunk Turkey that Bryan Kohberger did, which was a lie. And if it's a no contact order, guess what? I'm still not going to come down to the door. I'm not going to open the door. You're going to do what you were instructed to do because that's your job. And that's to drop the shit off at my front door and leave. So that's also like an excuse that she's making for all of the bullshit. They don't have to come down. You should have contacted them. You should have done your job. She just keeps making all these like weird little excuses for things. I just don't understand. Like, how do you have this much detail in your mind about something that was supposed to just be like regular schmegular? This is just a normal night of you going out and DoorDashing and dropping off orders in this area that you grew up around. It's just always just something. Every little detail, it's something.
So I start kind of walking up, looking at my map. It's telling me to walk up that road. I kind of walk up there, and I'm looking with my flashlight, and I'm seeing that there's a little courtyard in between the bushes, but I'm not seeing a pathway, a walkway, or anything to get through. No movement in the house, no movement outside. Nobody talking. It was noisy down at the street by the car, but not up there. Mm-hmm. It's quiet. It's dark. I'm getting really nervous because it's dark and it's quiet. And my map is just still telling me to keep walking up there. And I see that there's a road, but I'm not sure if it's the parking lot or there's an actual road that goes up and around. And so I turn around and I start walking back down to my car because I'm going to get in my car and drive up it because I don't want to end up walking blocks and blocks away from my car again in the dark. And it's cold and I'm flashing my flashlight and I'm trying to walk and I'm trying to look and I'm not seeing anything. And I get back down my car and I look back up and the girl's open the window again. And she's just sitting there looking out the window, and the only thing you can really see in the window is her.
And you know what's really bad? Like, and this is like just a thing. I put specific instructions. And I always end up putting, like, I have a base tip I always give, right? Because I know my area. I know that you ain't driving more than 3 minutes to bring me my shit, bro. Maybe 5 at the most. Like, I'm not dumb. I tip before, like, in the order, right? But I always will put an extra tip if you pay attention and you do what you're supposed to do. I have 2 sets of steps on my house. I only like using one door. It's more convenient for me and it's easier for them to use as well. I will say, this is exactly where I want it and put the instructions. If you bring it to the other door, I'm not giving you a good rating because you better learn how to, like, follow instructions. If this is a no contact order and it's telling you that it wants you to go to the backyard, the back door of this house that you can tell is the same house yo ass was just parked in front of for 15 minutes where there was a girl in the window. Why wouldn't you just go and drop it off in front of that same house? You're telling me that you can't cognitively tell that the damn courtyard belongs to the house that you were just parked in front of? You need 15,000 hours to decipher that? That's insane to me. That's absolutely insane to me.
And again, she makes eye contact with me and she disappears again. She don't
And how do you know that they're making eye contact with you? You can't see her eyeballs. You can't see her face. Just like you can't really actually tell what color her hair is. What do you mean she made eye contact with you? She's just saying everything she can, huh?
No, she's gone. I'm like, okay. So I keep walking down to my car and I'm looking for numbers. And then voices are starting to come up, the college kids and the radios and the music. I can't make them out. Any noises.
So there is music.
Still looking
I'd say that.
around for numbers. I finally get in my car, grab the door, get in, put my phone up on the stand, which takes forever because it's new. The pop socket doesn't want to fit into the stupid thing.
Brand new phone's not fitting in her holder.
Finally get it all situated up there, and I take my car and I put it in drive. And I remember kind of racing up there because I was trying to hurry, but then slowing down because I was trying to look at the same time to where my phone was telling me to turn and walk. And my car went boom up the hill very quickly.
That's why I said it's not. She doesn't go into the details the way that they want her to. She just reiterates the exact same story. That part, it's right
And
there.
then realizing that I was at a place to park the car. I can tell him that Kate was okay because he was starting to make noises. He wanted to get out and go with me, but I didn't want to carry him around. It was cold and I knew he was going to be cold.
See, she just said he wanted to get out with me, but I didn't want to get him out with me. So I need to go back into the report and see if they actually say she gets out and walks her dog, because I'm pretty sure they say something about her walking her dog in that damn report. And that's not what she says. She says she's got the dog. The dog wanted to go with her. She didn't let the dog go with her. I don't remember if she actually backtracks and acts like the dog's with her or not. But as far as I can remember listening to this before, I don't remember her saying that she actually took the dog out. So I don't know why it was in the report.
And I got the car parked. It was dark. It was really dark. I'm trying to get my flashlight on, and I was carrying the food this time, just in case. Thank you. You're okay. It's okay.
Oh, she's got to calm the dog down for no reason. Oh, no, now he's getting tired of the boo-boo.
Walking down the hill, and it's so dark, and looking through in between the bushes and see the light and the glow from in between and going out to the courtyard. That would actually be kind of a cool place to live. And the door, things being open. I remember glass doors open, I think. And
So she just looked at Payne. She says she thinks that the glass sliding door was open, but her reasoning proves to me that she's not very smart. Sorry, not sorry. I'm honest. She says she thinks it was open because she could see through it. This is a glass sliding door. You're gonna see through it, open or closed. So a lot of people took that and was like, holy shit, the door was already open, and it very well could have been. I don't know. But for her to say, because I could see through it, that's not giving us an actual answer as to if the damn door was open or not. That's if it's open or closed. I'm just saying, stuff works the same for everybody. Everybody's going to know that. If she would have said, I could see the door was open because there was like a line where the frame was showing me that the door was open. I couldn't see straight through it because the line from the door frame was in the way. Okay. But you can see through a glass door regardless. So let's keep that part in mind.
it seemed warm and inviting, but I didn't feel comfortable walking through the bushes. And all of a sudden I hear a car coming up from behind me, from my right. I hear the car, it's slow. Then I turn to my side to look at it because I know I don't want to get hit. There's not a lot of room. And it's at night. I'm with a flashlight. I'm expecting somebody to like be sitting there gawking at me, wondering what the heck I'm doing because that's kind of crazy.
See, that tells me like you know that you're not just dashing. Like if you're paranoid and expecting somebody to be staring at you because you're doing something, what are you doing to where you're that paranoid? Now that's how I'm going to take it. You know you're not supposed to be back there. You know that you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or else why would you be expecting that person to be staring at you?
And turning around, and it's a tan like colored car driving by me. It's not going fast. It's not going particularly slow. The dash light is on. It's very easy to see inside.
Did she say the dash lights were on? I'm going to just assume she misspoke and meant the interior light. Maybe the dome light is what she meant.
But he's very into what he's doing. He doesn't look at me, and he seems very just...
Not wanting to crash?
Not paying attention to anything else going on, but the light's on in the car for some reason, and it's very light inside the car. I don't see anything, bags or anything in the seats. I remember seeing the seats, and nothing like a bag or anything laying around. He had a light colored dress shirt on, short hair, almost pokey. I don't want to say spiky, pokey hair, and a beard that was not a long beard, very short. But just not that like he hasn't shaved in a couple of days, but it's been a while.
You see, I know she says spiky hair, and I know that David Barriocha has like curly hair, but she could just be seeing like height and thinking that it's spiked, maybe possibly. Because again, like Jack Jakor had a dark vehicle. He could have been maybe driving somebody else's vehicle, or it could have been somebody else altogether. There are several people that probably do fit that description. Because right now, this person's sitting in a vehicle. They can't really be, she can't see the height. She really can't see like their weight, really. It could be a number of anybody, honestly.
But not like he was, I don't know.
No, not really a beard. She just said it looked like they basically sort of like 5 o'clock shadow. Like they didn't look disheveled. That's how she describes it, which is why it's so freaking annoying. They don't look disheveled, but they looked like they needed to shave. So the only thing I could think of is like maybe a little bit past a 5 o'clock shadow, because it had to have been noticeable as the car was driving by.
Purposely or not, but older, not a college student. Didn't seem like he should have been right there.
Which I think is why people think it was the undercover cop, because it's like a tan sedan and the person looked older. I know that's what a lot of people think. And it's possible too that it might have been the undercover car.
The fact that he didn't even look at me was very strange. And walking down, I got to the end of the house and the bushes, and still I couldn't see a path. I wasn't missing anything. I didn't miss a pathway. Maybe the road goes up and around the other side. I can kind of see up there that it looks like there might be a parkway on the other side of the house. Maybe that's it. And I'm missing. And turning back around and walking up the hill really fast. And trying to be fast because it's dark and I've been taking too long. I've been there way too long, and I'm cold, and Nikki's getting antsy, and the food's getting cold, and
the food is getting cold, the dog is getting antsy.
It's so dark and so quiet, and getting in the car and feeling very uncomfortable. I'm feeling better when I got in the car. It was warmer. Putting Nike on.
See, that's another thing. When we went around in the last live, we were doing like the breakdown to see what it looked like from that back area where she was parked. And you could, I didn't think you could, but you can. It's a really weird angle. She would have had to have been like really way up there in that curve where the parking area is behind there. She could have been way in there and been able to see the slider and being able to see through it, but you would have definitely had to have been like up there. It is an odd angle.
My lap because I'm uncomfortable and getting pulled out without trying to hit anything and speeding down the hill rather fast because I was very uncomfortable and I didn't like where I was.
Well, see, also though, whenever I think of a dress shirt, I also think of like waiters and waitresses. I know that pretty much like anytime I've gone to a restaurant, pretty much like anywhere, if it's not like a logoed shirt for the restaurant, then it sometimes is like a collared shirt. I know when we went to Cheesecake Factory, when we've gone to like steakhouses, sometimes even Chili's, depending on like who is the waiter or waitress, they have collared shirts on. So there are some jobs where you do wear something like that. And if you work at like a diner or like a catering company or something like that, you do wear that. Plus, you know, other businesses, but you have to also think this is Sunday and most businesses where it is white collar are mostly closed, you know, banks and stuff like that. But there are some where they wear that. But a lot of people do find that interesting because of the freaking picture of Kohberger the next morning or later on that same day, the thumbs up picture, because he's got that not white, but more of an off greenish, according to the Costco stuff, and finally like getting a good look at the freaking shirt, that shirt with the collar on. So a lot of people take that, but I don't see why he would have been in like a white collared shirt while he was driving around and then done the thing and then gone home and taken a shower and then put the same shirt or same kind of shirt back on. That'd be kind of dumb. Just like off the bat, that's my thought of that. But that's what a lot of people are doing. They're being like, oh, she saw a guy in a white collared shirt. It had to be Kohberger because now we see this picture of him the next morning. No, I'm not one of them. I'm just saying what's out there.
I come down the hill and I decided to pull in. I pulled in very fast, getting frustrated, knowing I have other calls.
I wish they would have I don't actually, you know what? I'm going to say that, not remembering if they do. I hope that she gets to describe all the vehicles in the parking lot, because the way that Explorer was parked, like I get like there was probably still room for her to pull in decently quick, but you would really have to pay attention to not like clip the back end of that black SUV.
I remember hearing the gravel clicking, and I did not see the girl in the window this time. When I pulled into the drive, she wasn't up there. And I turned to the side, and all of a sudden I can see the numbers. There they are. There's the numbers through the light. Now I can see them now that I'm on the side. And I threw the car and parked very quickly. And I think I had Nike in my hand.
So she's saying that as she is parked in front of the house before she drives up, and she's seeing the person in the window, she can't see the numbers, but magically she can be on the opposite side of basically like the entrance of the parking area. Like this way she doesn't see it. This way she sees it. I don't know how she thinks that people aren't going to realize like how stupid this sounds.
I went to grab the food because I didn't want to let go of him. And I got out of the car and I grabbed my phone. I didn't turn it off. I didn't even shut the car door. And ran up to the door and put the food down, making sure that the door wouldn't hit the food.
She's saying that she had the dog with her and the phone and the food, because she's saying that she's holding the dog as she's driving down the little area and pulling in, that she's got the dog in her arms.
Knowing I have other calls. I remember hearing the gravel clicking, and I did not see the girl in the window this time. When I pulled into the drive, she wasn't up there. And I turned to the side, and all of a sudden I can see the numbers. There they are. There's the numbers through the light. Now I can see them now that I'm on the side. And I threw the car and parked very quickly.
So she doesn't see the numbers until she's all the way down in the vehicle. Not as she's driving. She's walking and she doesn't notice the numbers as she's walked down there. But now she's gotten back in her vehicle and she's driving down. And as she's gotten to the bottom where the dumpster is before she makes the turn, now she sees the numbers and she whips it into the driveway all of a sudden. Her story don't make no damn sense.
quickly. And I think I had Nike in my hand when I grabbed the food because I didn't want to let go of him. And I got out of the car.
I had Mikey in my hands as I grabbed the food because I didn't want to let go of him. I got out of the car, and now she's going to say she left the door open. So are you telling me that you held your dog and the food and your phone and you dropped it off like that? That's what it sounds like.
I grabbed my phone. I didn't turn it off. I didn't even shut the car door. And ran up to the door and put the food down, making sure that the door wouldn't hit the food if it was to open outwards. And taking the picture, trying to get the program to work. Got the picture, confirmed the delivery, got back in my car. And I'm gonna pick my phone back up on the thing, still holding on to Nike and throwing the car in reverse and getting out of there.
She brought the dog with her to the door. She has the dog in her arms as she's walking out of her vehicle and walking up to the door with her phone and the bag.
Got the picture, confirmed the delivery, got back in my car. And I'm gonna pick my phone back up on the thing, still holding on to Nike and throwing the car in reverse and getting out of there.
Yep. She got out of the car with the dog and the bag and the phone. Yeah, that too. No. And it would be DoorDash app would have it. She doesn't. She never sees him. I'm going to pop it up here in a few minutes. I'm going to go look for just like a photo of her. I know I have it in my Canva because remember, Dylan is now claiming that she had a weird dream. It was a woman with a big nose who came in that night. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can. Because there's no way they don't have it.
Very quickly. Because I didn't want to be there anymore. I wanted to hurry up and get on. I had been there so long. I wasn't supposed to be there any longer. And just kind of taken off really fast.
Taken off really
That was
fast.
great. Thank you very much.
That was good. No, it wasn't. It was the same damn story she told before. There was no detail. Same story. Same exact story.
I'm gonna take a drink, take a break for a second. Just okay.
Hater to these people.
That was great. There was a ton of detail with some new things in there too that helped you kind of pull out, which was great. Can I ask you a couple questions about some of this stuff? What you said when you pulled in and you parked by the dumpster, you left your lights on so you could see. Can you explain to us a little bit about exactly where the car was and what the headlights
The car was right, let's see, right here. The dumpster is right there, right at the very opening of the drive.
dumpster right next to the drive?
Yes, I was shining so I could see the numbers on this apartment here, the apartment complex. The numbers are right there on the corner. I think it's like 800 or something ridiculous, but
Okay.
it's a 100 number with 2 zeros. I can't remember the first one, but
I think you had said before, was there a time that you walked this way?
I didn't walk that way,
Okay.
just this way. My car, I drove when I came down in the car. I drove that way.
I see.
And that's where I parked my car, right there when I saw the numbers. That was right at the right angle where I could see the numbers away from the light.
Okay,
So that's when I realized that was the house that I was supposed to be at. So I slammed it in the park, and that's when I jumped out.
Okay, so the car, just for Brett, is on the right side of the house?
It's over here
It's on
on
the
this
right
one corner. And there were cars parked in there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can you, if you close your eyes, remember anything about how many cars, what kind of cars, what color cars, anything about those cars?
I want to say that all I remember, I want to say maybe 3
I'll go back in a second because I know she's now describing the vehicles. This is Molly. This is the picture that I use for my thumbnails when I do a video about her, because this is when she is looking back at Brett Payne's body cam right when she's about to say that she's friends with Bill Thompson. This is the picture of her that I use. She's got a pretty big nose for a woman. So I find it real interesting that Dylan uses that in her interview. What was it, for the 17th? About having a dream. A woman with a big nose was dressed in all black and was actually the one that was in the house that night. And suddenly she was nice eventually, and then it turns into a guy later, is how it's described. We're going to end up going through that very specific portion of her interview separately because it's necessary. Totally necessary. Thank you for the 5, Tanush. How you doing? I've owned a delivery service for food, and believe me, no animals allowed in the vehicle per health department. You're fired, Molly. I mean, you would think. Service animals are one thing, but she just said that Taco Bell got into a huge fight with Taco Bell because she wanted to bring her dog in there, and the dog is not a service dog. Not a service dog. Oh, I've got all the bushy. I got everything clipped from all of the things when it comes to the eyebrows. We're going to be talking about that soon. Very, 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 very soon. But yeah, for sure. A service animal is one thing, but this is not a service animal. So she keeps the dog in there so that the dog can just like get all over the food. And then she keeps a bunch of sauces and different things in her car in the back seat so they can just like soak up the sun rays before they get handed out to customers. It's just so wild.
Cars, a dark sedan car is the only one I can remember that was actually parked in there.
Okay.
For some reason, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the cars that were in there. Okay. Just because nothing was moving, nothing was going on. Okay.
It's actually like a really good point. I really wonder how many dogs she has. Because she could be popping up with this little bitty old dog for a reason. So that it looks like she only has a little bitty old dog. But I'm curious. I don't know. She's a grown-ass adult and we've seen all of her body cam. I don't know why they have her blurred out. I have no idea.
And I was just trying to get my car in and out of there and get out of there at that point because I felt uncomfortable being on that side of the house.
Okay. I think he said too, and correct me if I'm wrong, that while you were up here and you looked down in here, it looked warm and inviting. Mm-hmm. And I think he said something about it being open.
I think the doors.
That too. You have to have insurance. You have to have so many things checked off to be a DoorDash driver. And she's getting pulled over for her headlights, for insurance, for registration issues. And then she's going to tell them here that the reason why it took her so long to get back to them is because her alignment cost all this money and then it was all messed up and it messed up 2 tires and her tires both popped at the same time and she was on the side of the road. This girl got a dramatic story for every excuse. No, not that I'm aware of. Because if it was, then Taco Bell and her wouldn't have gotten into a fight. There was no tag on the dog. This is potato land. Yes, I know. Yeah, I noticed that too, actually, when they were talking about the order, because she said it was like a small bag to where she thought it could have been like a value meal. And I'm like, okay, well, value meals come with drinks, like the small drink. So yeah, I questioned that too, because she said it was just a bag she put down. Now, I will tell you, I have gotten Jack in the Box delivered and the drinks come in a bag. Obviously, I'm ordering for more than one person. I've got the children's. Food comes in one bag. Drinks come in a drink carrier, but in another bag separately that has like the little on it, like the stickers over the holes of the cups, all the way down the sides, all the sealed things. So just one bag. Maybe they have like a singular cup holder where they put a little cup in there and they can put the food in there. Because I know that they've had to figure that out. But she's saying that like it was just like a small bag. So maybe it had the drink inside of it and it was a small drink, but I didn't see a small cup anywhere. We just see like the big one. But that's again, like I know that like I don't want to see all of the injuries and stuff, but I really wish that we could get photos of the rooms after the bodies were removed before they started moving stuff so that we could get a better idea of if there was more fast food stuff in the bedroom. Because I'm telling you, in one of the photos that came out in that original drop that we got from like the mainstream media putting it out, there's like what looks to be a fast food bag like in there on the bottom. And Jack in the Box has purple in their logo and there's like purple on that bag. It's just really hard to tell what it is from. But I wish we could see that because then maybe it would give us a little bit more clarity.
I don't know if they were open, but I would have thought it almost seemed like there was glass doors open back there, but I don't know if they actually were or if it was just clean glass doors.
Okay, so
Clean
I was gonna
glass
ask you,
doors.
what made you think that they were open?
Just because I couldn't see through.
Okay.
See,
Or I couldn't
I can see through the glass. It had to have been open.
see through, so I could see through. Sorry. So I wasn't sure if it was glass doors. It was just a glowing, you know, the yellow, orangish glowing light coming through. It wasn't
And
exactly
we know that that's accurate because that's what all the light coming through looks like. It's like that orangish yellow hue.
up here. Up here was very dark. Really hard to see. It was more down here towards, as I was looking through the bushes where it was telling me to go through into the cartbird.
Okay. So you noticed it down kind of closer
Yeah.
to the house?
More closer to the house. Okay. Because I didn't walk past, when I was walking down, I didn't walk past this part when I was walking down. It was just, once I got to that point, it was like, okay, I've already made it past
Mm-hmm.
the house. And
The lights had to have been on like almost everywhere because home shake Dylan is claiming that there was enough lights on for her to be able to see that Xana was not only on the floor, but that she was pantsless. Couldn't see the blood, but she could tell that she was pantsless. Home shake right here is saying, "Oh, the light was on in the outside. I could see through the back slider this hue, this light, this hue." Well, you can only see if there's stuff in the windows, if there's enough light for you to be able to actually see that through the window. So maybe like the street lights were enough for her to see that there was like stuff in the windows on the back of the house. But then for her to also say somebody was in the window in the front, you could see them. The light had to have been on in order for you to be able to see that somebody was standing at the window. So yeah, on top of that, we have the little lights that were on the little bar thing. And then the TV, I think, was also on. There was lots of lights on. Yeah, there was lots of lights on. Lots of light.
that's when I came back up.
When you
Stuffed animal.
and just so I'm clear too, I know you told Brett this already, but which direction were you traveling and which direction was that car?
I read that like the country song.
I was walking down
Okay.
and the car was coming down.
Also coming down the
Yes.
same
That too.
direction.
Yes. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like $22, obviously, with Jack in the Box, you can't get a lot, bro. You cannot get a lot at all anymore. Not today. And this is also probably like, well, you know what? It could be because fees and tip and stuff could equal to that amount. It just really depends on what was ordered. But like a regular meal at Jack in the Box, you also have to consider this too, guys. And I don't know how many of you like do the ordery stuff, okay? But the stuff that you order through the app is always going to be a higher price than at the store. Let's take McDonald's, for example. You can only get their little like $5 meal deals if you do a pickup order. You cannot order those through delivery. I haven't been able to do it here. I haven't been able to do it whenever we lived outside of Fort Worth. I've never been able to get the little meal deals, the little cheap deals in an order. But if you look at Jack in the Box, like it's pretty expensive. Again, for like one meal is like $15. So with tip and with service fee, $22 for one meal is probably legit. That's really probably what's going on. Because like, let's just do it for an example. For those of you who know about Jack in the Box, those freaking tacos, okay, they used to be 2 for $1 when I was a teenager. 20 years ago, or I'm 37. They used to be 2 for $1. Now they're 2 for $2.11. That's more than double the price. One meal, like the ultimate bacon cheeseburger meal, is $14. So again, you take that with tip, service fee, delivery fee. Yeah, I mean, look, a bacon double smash burger is $17.23. Like, I don't even know that if they even have like cheap little meals on here. I really don't. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what could have been ordered, but for it to be $22 and it be one meal, I mean, I could see how. I definitely could see how that would be possible. I mean, the economy's wild, bro. Yeah. Like absolutely insane. They have a lunchy meal is like $11. Like if you want to spend less than money on something, you literally have to get like on like what you call it, a la carte type stuff. Yeah, like it's expensive. It's super. I don't even know if y'all can even like see the prices. Yeah, look at the prices. That's just like regular meals. So yeah, I could definitely see $22 it being one person. For sure.
When it passed you, you said as it's passing you looked over your right shoulder.
Yes, I was walking down the hill.
Okay. As it passed you, do you remember seeing the back side of it at all?
No.
Did you watch it as it went past you?
I remember it going down the hill, but then I just turned and kept doing what I was doing because I didn't see which way it turned.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you remember, when was the first time you saw another vehicle when you were leaving, after you dropped the food?
Another vehicle.
At any point, even if it's, way out on the street, do you ever remember encountering another car in front of you, behind you, passing,
Not that I remember.
Not that I remember. She has no recollection of any of this. So how did it go from I saw nothing? I saw somebody that has nothing to do with the person that you're telling me that you want me to testify against, basically. How does it go from no recollection of seeing this vehicle, no recollection of seeing this person, no, this person did not pull in behind me, I didn't see none of this, to I parked right next to Bryan, I'm supposed to testify? Because that's how she said it. Wah, wah type vibe. How did that switch like that? Somebody's responsible, and it's got to be Thompson. I don't know how Ann Taylor isn't focusing on that. Because it's all like, if we can see it, and we only have freaking access to what we can publicly get our hands on, can you imagine what's behind the scenes that Ann Taylor could get her hands on if she gave a shit? How are you not using this? Oh, I hate this whole thing.
It was pretty dead out. Things were starting to calm down. But there was still a lot of noise and music coming from somewhere. I thought it was coming from these apartments here, and then from this one here. But I remember walking kind of down here and seeing these guys' lights were all still on, and there was lots of noise coming from that area.
Okay, so this is I'm not sure. Is this a house or an apartment?
I think this is an apartment. It looked like it's kind of strange, like the apartment's only upstairs.
Okay.
It's weird looking.
Okay. But you said those lights were on?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That was really great. I'd like to do one other similar kind of thing, just to see if we can kind of pull something else out. So if this, well, let's use this building here. So these are apartments here, right? So what I'd like you to do is imagine you're in one of these windows here on the end.
Okay.
And you're looking out. Okay. But you're not you, because you're down here doing everything that you did that night.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's me up in this.
Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something serious and he's not, then no, move on. But if you're both not looking for anything serious, then go for it. That's the only answer I can give you.
Window here. And I'm looking out from the time you pull in, same thing, from the time you pull in to the time you pull back out. From up here, what am I seeing? What can I see from right here?
From right there, up here.
Yep, from right in here.
Probably my headlights as I pull up. Once I get to walking up here, you'll be able to see that. And me looking around and looking over here, you won't be able to see me walking over there, be like there. And then me turning around and coming back down here to my car and looking at the other house numbers. And then you would see my car come up, which is silver Subaru, very fast, coming up and trying to find a parking spot. And honestly, I parked like right there. It was so dark, but it was right there. And then I got out of my car and came walking down with my camera, my flashlight on my phone. I'm saying flashlight, I mean the flashlight on my phone.
Okay.
And looking at the map and trying to reset the map because.
No, I don't watch him. Sorry if he passed away for those who watch that channel. My condolences to the family, but no, I didn't watch him because he was the one who was on the phone call with Rory with that whole crazy kingpin thing. So I stayed away from that channel. But that sucks if he passed away. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm sure somebody that's in that camp might know better. I don't know. I don't even know who all he was still associating with. I have no idea. But RIP, I just don't know.
They keep saying, you are here, and I'm not there yet, and I haven't found it, and it's hidden in the rain. And walking and peeking through the bushes, and I'm actually thinking about people watching me, wondering what I'm doing. And then the car come driving down here and pass by me as I turn and look at him. And then as I got down to about here, would have seen me stop and kind of peer through and kind of take a step there, down, but go no, and turn around, a step off the road. It's kind of a little bit of a drop there, and I was like, no. And looking, but seeing him at the end of the house, and then coming back up and very quickly, and coming right back up to the car, and then driving down very fast. And then probably hearing my tires turn and the gravel spitter as I turn in there.
You can actually, on the 1112 camera, you can sort of hear the crunching of the gravel as her tires pull in.
But I don't know that you would be able to see me actually get out of the car.
Okay.
And go to the door from there because of those bushes and the trees and everything that's there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I mentioned. I find it really strange that she's like paranoid to the point to where she's like expecting the guy in the car to be watching her. So I don't know, maybe you missed it. It's been probably like 30 minutes since I said it or so. But that's what I said. I said, like, what are you doing to where like you're just expecting somebody to be staring at you? Like, I'm not expecting somebody to be looking at me unless I'm worried that somebody might be looking at me. And then I'm like worried about it. You know what I mean? And if she was just doing her job and this was just like a normal everyday thing for her, why are you worried about if somebody's looking at you or not? No, I agree. Totally agree. I totally agree. It's very odd that that's her main thing with this person is, oh, he wasn't looking at me. Well, girl, what the frick were you doing where you thought he should have been? No, yeah, no, that's what it sounds like.
That was great.
Paranoia.
Thank you very much for that. Brett, did any of that, or any additional questions?
Oh, you did a fantastic job. Yeah, truly, you did great.
After kind of going through all of that, is there anything else that sticks in your mind or that got jogged, that maybe is bubbling its way up about the 15 minutes or so that you spent in that neighborhood, or even on your way in or out of the neighborhood, if there was anything that
Just remembering that was a really weird delivery. I was there forever. His hair could have been like a blondish red.
Okay.
Okay. It was hard with the glow of the light. That's the only other thing I can think of that.
I guess that's true too. Like there might be a different shade of the person's hair actually, depending on what the dome light was doing. That's also something somebody else mentioned. The way that the lights are outside, like the way that there's like an orange hue. I think somebody said they're because they're like a sodium type light. I think there's even a report where Brett Payne, I think, wrote the report about how he went out there to see like the way that the lights mess with the car color. So maybe that is something that needs to be taken into consideration, but I don't know what the cars look like under those lights at night because we've only ever seen black and white stuff. So it'd be nice to maybe get like an idea of what that looks like at night and the way that the hue of the lights reflect on certain things. Well, thank you, Kimberly, for the gifted membership. Congrats to whoever got that. Thank you so much.
When I was picturing it, that could be, it may not have been just blonde, it may have been a blonde, like strawberry blonde, but yeah, tan, of course, tan.
And you mentioned that he had a light colored dress shirt on.
Yeah.
When you say a dress shirt,
A collar, but not shirt.
okay. Okay.
Kohberger has brown hair. His hair looks really dark in the picture that a lot of people saw the first time around of the thumbs up photo because the state hella filtered it. That's actually a video that I still need to do because we have 3 versions of that photo. And the last time I asked in my community post which one was the original, people got mad that I was asking that. Like, people who are actually like here on this channel that I see commenting about how things are so sketchy all the time thought that it was odd that I was asking which one was the original. Well, in one, he's got black looking slicked hair and like he melts into the tile of his shower. And in the other one, he's not doing that. You can see like facial hair that he needs to shave a little bit. And you can see like little freckles on his face. Like you can see more detail. Then we have another one that's even different where the shirt's more green. Why do we have so many different versions of that picture? Because we have the one the state gave us. We have the one that Dateline put out. And then we have the one that we got from Celebrite when I got their information for their Google Drive. Why? Why do we have so many different versions? Yeah, I don't understand it. I left that there because when I do the video about it, I'm going to bring up some of the comments because I'm like, what in the hell? Why did this piss people off? I just want to know which one's the actual picture. I don't understand. Thank you for the $4.99, Verity. Don't want to go, but I got to get some sleep. Thank you, Jules and community. Keep up the amazing work. Lots of love from the UK. Good night. Sweet dreams. This case is so crazy. Oh, I can't go straight to bed after like talk about this case. I have to watch something for like a good 2 hours just to like empty my brain. Good night.
No coat over the top or a hoodie like you would see on a college student. Okay, you know, or a sweater and a dress shirt.
And it seems like you described being able to see pretty clearly on the inside of the car. Is that?
Yeah, I remember the inside of the car being lit up.
Okay.
Like he had the dome light on, which seems odd to me, but I don't know. But he wasn't looking around or anything. He was just straight.
Okay. Did it seem like there were any tints in the
And
windows?
into the road.
No,
Oh
Just
no.
clear.
I could see right through.
Okay.
I saw I could see him so well.
Okay.
That's why it's been just bugging me because I could see him so well.
Okay. You talked about light colored interior of the cars. Can you see anything about the color besides that it's light?
Okay, just like I don't remember any bags or clutter or anything laying around or anything on the dash that didn't already belong there. You know, anything sticking out. Do you think I'm clean and very nitpicked?
Okay. What about the color of the dash?
I'd love to know why the amount of blur keeps glitching like that. Because it is the blur amount. Like this is blurred into an oblivion. And then in some sections, you can see like the brown of her hair. I don't know why they're doing that. Right? How dare him not look at her? Isn't it crazy? She's so offended. She's so offended. So offended that the guy's not watching her. That's crazy, right? No, yeah, I've seen it. I just now saw in the chat too that he said he had like lung cancer like 3 weeks ago. That is really quick. Maybe he just found out 3 weeks ago, but it was there a lot longer. That's really fast. That's real fast.
Flashlights. That there's a glow from the dash. Can you recall any?
Not much of a glow because of the dash light, the dome light being on. So not much that I saw there. It just was very bright in there. And it being so dark. I mean, I think there might be some light coming from in between there, coming through the windows just right when I was perfect timing. That could have been it too, instead of the dash light or the interior light being on, but it just didn't seem very bright in there when I think about it. Okay. When I picture it.
When you picture the gentleman sitting in the car, you're looking at him side profile.
Yes.
Did anything stand out to you about his facial features?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that if it was Kohberger, you'd have noticed the nose, especially in a profile. Maybe not the deep set eye sockets, but definitely the nose. And she didn't say anything.
Can you recall his hairline?
Not anything that was, it wasn't like it was balding or anything like that. It's just a normal. He wasn't wearing a hat or anything like that. You could see his hair. So it was very spiky hair. It was short.
So spiky, short. Can you describe that for me as a little bit more?
Not like slick back or anything like that. Just like spiky, short. Not like buzz cut, but longer than that. A buzz cut.
Okay. Okay. Just if I remember correctly, you said this was not your first delivery to this neighborhood.
No, it was not. I had 2 other ones up here.
Okay. And there was one more after it, or no?
No.
Okay.
That was actually, I had more deliveries in Pullman. Just, yeah, I actually did that last one, and then called me. He's like, "You need to come home. This is ridiculous. You've been gone forever. Why aren't you home yet?
Okay.
You've been at this for like 18 hours. Why did you go home?"
Do you remember what times those 2 earlier deliveries were?
They were directly before.
Okay.
I mean, I went to I was dashing in Pullman, and they sent me to deliver to the crazy name delivery with all the right there, and a gentleman here. That was
Which is a double dash. She picked them both up, brought both of them to Moscow, dropped them off, took so long that Jack in the Box thought she wasn't coming back for her other double dash order, which was a Pullman delivery to a dorm, meaning at WSU. I wish we had the information on exactly where. I don't know if there's any vegetarian dishes at Jack in the Box, but I'd be super curious as to where that Pullman one went. And as she's picking up the Pullman one, she also picks up the Moscow one. But again, they thought she wasn't coming back, which tells me that she had to get there and then wait, if this is accurate and true, that she had to get back to Jack in the Box and then wait for both of those orders to have been remade, because according to her, they threw it in the trash, which makes it even longer than it should have taken for her to get there and drop the damn food off. Which is why we desperately need that damn timestamp for when this order was placed, because there's just no way to accurately tell with the way that this woman operates.
first one, and then I got sent right back to Jack in the Box again.
Okay.
And I think I did a double drop off from Pullman,
Okay.
and then right back there again for the second delivery to be dropped off in the center there,
Okay.
and then right back to Pullman again.
Okay.
And I did 1 drop off in Pullman and 1 drop off to them.
I see. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, I get a lot of double drop offs.
Okay.
Most dashers don't, but I get a lot of double
That's
offs.
good for you.
Yeah. A lot of people got a lot of complaints on them because they're not fast enough, but
Okay.
I end up with a lot of them. I'm not sure why, but
She's not fast enough. Her ratings are low because she's not fast enough.
So when you came through this area on those 2 earlier deliveries, what was the I don't want to say the traffic like, but what was were there people out? Were there
there were
vehicles
people
out?
out, there were vehicles, there were lots of vehicles out, parked on the sides and lots of noise and typical college party night. Seemed like all of the apartments were somebody was out partying.
Okay.
Until you get up to here, I don't know if you've been there or not. There's no lights, street lights or anything once you get in up there. And so I was trying to drive around up there, and the weather was not great, I remember. And so trying to see, especially up here and where I was going, I ended up driving on the walkway in the center of the apartments because I didn't realize I wasn't supposed to be driving on them. And him on
The weather was fine. It was not raining. It was not foggy. We could see it in the cameras very clearly. What do you mean? What do you mean? There was nothing wrong with the weather. Like right now, the exact same like meteor shower shit that was going around then, or whatever it was called, that was going on. that everyone was all like, oh my God, stargazing and how could you, blah, 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 whatever, which is not even what the frick it says. All that's happening right now. Like that's a thing. I don't remember. Is it called the Palisades? Always get the freaking name of it wrong. But that's happening right now on top of whatever this like Aurora thing is with all this activity up there.
My phone breaking at me like ETA, and I'm like, and so then I had to go in reverse out of the center of the courtyard.
Okay.
And driving back, and he came out of his.
She said it was foggy. It's not foggy though. Like in Banfield, we can see it. There's no fog. We can see in 1112, there's no fog. We can see in Taylor Avenue, there's no fog. We can see in Linda Lane, there's no fog. So that's interesting because there wasn't.
Apartment with the purple door.
Okay. And you say, so you went straight back to Jack in the Box and straight back. How long do you think that trip takes?
On that night, it doesn't take very long, maybe 10 minutes or so. I could probably check on my phone on my maps and see, but it's not a long drive when the weather's not bad. Even at night, the dark when I do it so often, I know the road pretty well. And I wasn't taking Airport Road at all that night. It was on the highway and back and forth between Jack in the Box. I would take not airport, the back Airport Road, but as soon as you get to the light on the Pullman side, and then go that way to Jack in the Box up to campus and around. So it's fairly quick, especially because nobody's out. It's just dashers. We're all running back and forth trying to not get, sorry, but busted for speeding.
I got busted for speeding the other morning, so on my way here.
And, trying to make sure we're not getting in trouble, especially at the end of the month. It seems like at the end of the month, they're all watching our routes between Jack in the Box and McDonald's and Taco Bell over there in Pullman. That's the Stadium Way strip right there.
Yeah.
They're right there watching us pretty close.
They watch you closely as you're driving from fast food restaurants to your locations. Maybe it's just you they're watching and not dashers in general. Maybe it's just you, Molly.
When you, on those first 2 trips out to this neighborhood, do you recall seeing any other vehicles out?
Not anything that stood out. There were kids walking around and lots of noise and but not anything. It was so late. I didn't expect to see a lot of cars out.
Okay.
So
if you had seen any cars on the road at all, not cars, but
yeah,
cars moving at that time.
I want to say maybe 1 or 2 passing by me, but nothing that stood out and not a lot of traffic. It was very quickly up and out and up and out, and not a lot of having to wait at stop signs or waiting for traffic to move.
Okay.
Especially being up here, because there's not a lot of, unless you live up here, you know what you're doing up there, you're not usually over on that side. Where down here, there's more people moving around and active because it's the main road. A lot of people who go to Winco, because Winco is open all night, and if they live on the side of town, they will go that way
Winco's open
to
all
get through
night.
town because it's faster and it's easier than going through downtown and Main Street and everything to get through at night. So it's a main road.
Anything else that you can think of at all?
Not
It is
anything
not
that's
dog.
coming
It's
to mind.
definitely like a
Is there
static.
anything else about that vehicle when you close your eyes and think about it? Any decals or stickers?
I can't even remember if it was a Washington or an Idaho plate. I've been racking my brain.
For the
But I don't
time.
remember any stickers or anything sticking out or standing out on it.
What about the wheels? Anything about the wheels? You recall seeing the wheels at all?
I didn't even look at the wheels because I was looking at the top part. I don't even remember clicking for the like if it had studs on.
Okay.
I don't remember studs clicking. I remember the gravel clicking, but not like stud clicking.
Okay.
If that.
Absolutely.
So studs are pretty loud. You can hear them a mile away.
Is that her little dog barking?
Brett, anything more?
No.
Okay, so the only
We're
other
in
thing I have for you is how are you doing? I know, but it said this has been a rough couple days for you. I hope this conversation wasn't.
No, it was fine.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We certainly understand that this is a tough process, and particularly considering the things you've been through in the last.
Well, like I told him, I want to help. I want to help to make because I can't believe I was there at that exact time. My luck.
Well, we very much appreciate your willingness to help, your willingness to come in tonight. I know it was probably a lot just hearing the calls from the PD when we initially tried to get a hold of you, so we get that completely. I was talking to now, she's going to stay in contact with you, she'll check in on you if you need anything. She'll probably have some suggestions of things that may help.
He just wouldn't let me call. Like I told him, my first message I got from my voice note, I just got your phone. My voice note wasn't even hooked up. So I was getting with your text messages.
See, she says she just got a new phone. I didn't catch the first time where she said that the phone that she had that night was also new and it wasn't fitting in the holder. Because the first time I heard this, I was like, holy shit, you got a new phone after the fact? What? But she does say, and I guess that they would know by going in and doing like their warrants and stuff. She does say that she had that phone like that night. Because she was having difficulty, but I don't know.
And I was actually sitting in my dad's truck, my tire had just blown. I just bought brand new tires. I was trying to sign on to work and my tire blew on the highway. My dad had just picked me up, but I had less schwab dealing with that. My car was out of alignment, so 2 weeks after I got on brand new tires, the tire completely burned all the way like this and blew on the highway both sides of the front. So another $400 after it.
She's trying to get sympathy and make an excuse for why she did not contact the police back as they were trying to track her ass down. And they tried to find her for days.
$800. So that's what I've been doing. He's like, I will call him and I'll call him. I'm like, then you need to call him because he keeps texting me. And I'm trying to deal with this. And if you're going to call him, you need to call because he's still texting me. And I don't know if he can't get through. And then I realized that my voice note wasn't set up. And then I had the app set up so no phone calls were getting through. And I was like, he's trying to get through and he can't get through. And he's texting me. He's probably sitting there wondering if I even know if it's real or not because I didn't text it from a police officer. So if you're going to call.
Weird.
Well, we very much appreciate that.
Oh my God.
It is certainly possible we may reach out to you again. Is that okay?
Please do that.
Okay. And the number we used, is that the right number? Is it easier with the voicemail situation? Should we call? Should we text?
Texting was better. I have a hard time talking on the phone.
Okay.
So didn't she just say, if it's real, then call me? But now she's saying text me instead of doing anything else. Like the text messages, she's saying he probably was thinking, I think these text messages are fake. Oh my God, just call me if you're real. But now she's telling the cop not to call her, to send her a text message. It's back and forth crazy shit, bro.
I don't know why it triggers me. Absolutely. I tend to sit there and just stare at it ringing. I can't answer it. Okay. That's why I have speech to text voicemail too, because I can't listen to them. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. It triggers the anxiety for some reason.
You have anxiety, so you can't listen to voicemails? What? I'm so tired of this.
It's not like I got a weird phone call saying my husband was dead or something, or I was there every time something happened. So
okay, I'm gonna listen back to that, whatever the frick she just said right there.
I tend to sit there and just stare at it ringing. I can't answer it. Okay. That's why I have speech to text voicemail too, because I can't listen to them. Okay. I don't know why. Okay. It triggers the anxiety for some reason. It's not like I got a weird phone call saying my husband was dead or something, or
it's not like I got a weird phone call saying my husband was dead or something. I want to call you so many names right now. Your husband died. Your husband did die. Why would you use that as an example? Yes. Why would you use that as an example when that actually happened in real life and then you also had some other baby daddy die in a freaking bathroom? Why would you use that? Yes. Shh. Like what? Jesus Christ. This is wild. These people. Oh my God.
Is it easier with the voicemail situation? Should we call? Should we text?
Texting was better. I have a hard time talking on the phone.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. It triggers me.
Absolutely.
I tend to sit there and just stare at it ringing. I can't answer it.
Okay.
But I have
That's some
speech to
paranoid
text
crap, that shit,
voicemail
bro.
too, because
Come
I can't
on,
listen
man.
to them.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to.
It triggers the anxiety for some reason. It's not like I got a weird phone call saying my husband was dead or something, or, I was there every time something happened. So,
Anxiety's weird like that.
yeah, I think it's just not knowing
Sure.
what's
Happened to her.
on the other line. The other side is what makes it hard. So, yeah, the texting was fast. We'll answer it. Okay. He answers the phone calls for me too. So.
Now let me ask you this too.
Somebody else answers her phone calls. Did y'all just hear that? He answers my phone calls, so. What? Someone else answers your phone?
I have a hard time talking on the phone.
Okay.
I don't know why. It triggers me.
Absolutely.
I tend to sit there and just stare at it ringing. I
Okay.
can't answer it.
Okay.
But I have speech to text voicemail too, because I
Yeah.
can't listen to them.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay.
It triggers the anxiety for some reason. It's not like I got a weird phone call saying my husband was dead or something, or, I was there every time something happened. So,
I was there every time something happened. It wasn't like somebody had to call me. I was already there. God. This is wild. This is wild.
Anxiety's weird like that.
yeah, I think it's just not knowing
Sure.
what's on the other line.
Okay.
The other side is what makes it hard. So, yeah, the texting was fast. We'll answer it.
Okay.
He answers the phone calls for me too. So.
He answers the phone calls for me too.
Now let me ask you this too. I know it's seems like you do DoorDash at night.
Yes.
So when do you sleep?
During the day,
Okay.
in the morning usually.
Okay.
I'm more of early mornings. It's usually I'm unconscious.
Okay.
I'm out cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will certainly try and reach out to you. When's the best afternoon?
Yeah. Afternoons, evenings. Yeah.
We can.
Exactly. She is crazy, bro. Are we sure her and Dylan aren't related? Oh, buddy. All right.
We can certainly work around that. As I said, the likelihood is we probably will reach out to you
Yes,
again.
please do. Please. I want to help.
And I keep in touch with you as well, so we may just work your too.
Okay.
We can kind of figure that out. If you have a preference, if you'd rather.
It doesn't matter. It's anything I can do. I'll come back.
Okay. That's
And if I think of anything, I will let you guys know.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the things we always tell people, I know it's been a few days now at this point already, but you're gonna keep thinking about it.
Yeah,
and
it keeps
it's
replaying.
not helpful for your anxiety. I fully
Yeah.
understand, but it's just one of those things that's
It's
going
gonna
to happen.
happen. Yeah.
If
But she said she didn't. She said, it's not like I'm getting a call about my husband being murdered or whatever the frick she said. I was there every time something happened. No, I definitely feel about half as smart as I did an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. This is wild.
you think of anything else, if anything else comes to mind, reach out. We'll give you, Brett will give you a business card and you'll have Tamara's information as well. You can reach Tamara, you can reach Brett.
Of course.
If you want to text and say, hey, I thought of something, that's fine. It's probably easier to do that than to actually text the information to
Yeah.
us, if that's okay with
Yeah,
you.
that's fine.
It may be
Going
something,
around everybody.
if you don't mind, if you know it's us calling and you're expecting that call, if that's okay to have conversation, just so you don't have to come in.
Yeah, it just depends with the phone call thing. I
Okay.
wish there was a rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes I can answer that phone and I have no problem.
That's fine.
But I'm
There's no rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes I can answer the phone and sometimes I can't. This chick is high more than she wants to admit. I'm sorry. This is, I really wish things were different. I don't understand the tiptoeing, the catering, the pandering, the snowflakiness. I don't understand this. This is wild to me. This is absolutely insane to me.
If you know it's us calling and you're expecting that call, if that's okay to have a conversation, just so you don't have to come in.
Yeah, it just depends with the phone call thing. I
Okay.
wish there was a rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes I can answer that phone and I have no problem.
That's fine.
And I'm the boss.
Yep.
Sometimes I can answer it. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's no problem because I'm the boss. You're the boss, huh? Wow. Interesting way to put that. Interesting way to put that. Thank you for the $9.99, Chief. No shit. Her and Dylan. There was no way that Santa wasn't shitting his pants at the thought of what was going to happen if these two got on the stand. Like, huh?
Give you a business card and you'll have Tamara's information as well. You can reach Tamara, you can reach Brett.
Of course.
But anytime day or night, just call or text. If you want to text and say, hey, I thought of something, that's fine. It's probably easier to do that than to actually text the information to us, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
Listen.
It may be something, if you don't mind, if you know it's us calling and you're expecting that call, if that's okay to have a conversation, just so you don't have to come in.
Yeah, it just depends with the phone call thing. I
Okay.
wish there was a rhyme or reason to it. Sometimes I can answer that phone and I have no problem.
That's fine.
And I'm the boss.
Yep.
Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, and I can't do it.
That's totally understandable.
No, it's not totally understandable. Oh my God. See, I could not be this way. I could not be in the chair interrogating or investigating or having an interview with somebody and then pretend like this. It's not understandable. You sound like a psycho. Why do none of these people call any of these people out on their bullshit? I don't understand that.
So yeah, but yeah.
Can I ask if there's anything that you do to kind of help that anxiety? Do you have any?
I've been trying as much as I can to do things, but it's been hard.
I don't remember the silence here. Very much so.
All right, well, unless you've got anything else, I don't think we need to keep you anymore.
Okay.
Thank you so much again. I can't express to you how grateful we are for
I'm sorry,
coming in and
Nope.
figure it out quicker and
nothing to apologize.
we were gonna get a hold of Bill because I knew Bill. So, but with the holidays and everything, and I was just stressing out and I was terrified.
And that's it. What the hell did we just listen to? It's been a few weeks since I heard that. So it like, what? Oh, look, I'm all like dark and stuff. I'm just not going to get up and turn the light on. Y'all going to see my face like this? Why did it just get blurry? Okay, whatever. That's wild. Yeah. Isn't this wild? Like, actually unbelievable. I cannot believe the amount of bullshit that they are sitting there being like, oh, it's fine. Oh, it's okay. That you're full of shit and lying to us. What? Unbelievable. Yeah, I'd like to know if she's still driving for DoorDash. For real, I would love to know what these two had a discussion about after she walked out of the room. I really would love to know. Wow. I just don't know what to even think. I just know that she's full of shit about literally everything. There's no way that you're going to remember all of this stuff. Like, you had to have sat there and rehearsed this. Yeah. He was sitting on her lap the whole time. Isn't that insane as hell? Insane. Very, very much so. Okay, so we still have both the Peytons, Bethany's, Jenna's, Kim's, another one I can't remember the name of. I actually don't know if there's a name. I think it's just initials. Now, I will say I watched Truth and Transparency for a little bit last night as I was making dinner because she has some of the lobby footage. I don't understand why they cut the lobby footage the way that they did. There's a really weird glitch in the very beginning to where like you're watching stuff happen and then it glitches or cuts and then there's like a Suburban or a white SUV that suddenly shows up as soon as like all these people start coming into the building. But there's no timestamps. It's hard to see what's going on, who is who, what's going, like, it's really difficult. I didn't get the chance to watch the whole thing. I just don't understand why there's no timestamps. Why wouldn't you have timestamps on your freaking lobby cameras? That's absolutely asinine to not have timestamps on your lobby cameras. So I'm really wondering like why the timestamps for some of this has to be like part of the redaction. Because there's no way that you have, even in 2022, there's no way that you have camera systems that don't have the damn time on it. Like you can go to Walmart right now and buy a little $20 camera that has a free app on your phone. And even that thing will have a timestamp counter on it. So I don't know why they don't have it. It's just them all coming in. You can't hear anything, but it's them coming in, like the group of people coming in. They're so blurred. You can't really tell who's who, but you can see like Dylan's green pants. You can see like the bottom of their clothes to sort of like get an idea about who it is. There's a guy that's like sitting in the lobby the whole time. I personally think it's Scott Green. I think that's who's sitting waiting like for hours in the video. I think that it's him. But you can see like people coming in, walking up and down the stairs. There's one portion where it does look like Jeff and Jasmine are like being brought in because we know that Jeff and her were like the first of the parents' family members to get to the police department. But no timestamps and something like that. It's just insane. No, the lobby of the police department. I think it's the one that she put out yesterday. Truth and Transparency's channel. It does look like it's Scott Green. He's just like hanging out in like a yellow shirt, and that's part of the Vandal colors. I think it's him. It's like, I don't know if she went in there and like edited out anything. I know whenever my lives are over, I go in and like edit out a lot of the like the hellos and stuff in the like beginning song and try to like get rid of all the extra stuff that we talk about in the lives and just make it like the subject at hand. I don't know if she goes back in and does that, but the video that she had from yesterday is like a little over an hour, but it's that time frame. At least that's what we're being told because there's no timestamp. So it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell if that's the way that it's supposed to be or not. Yeah, I just like was trying to watch the whole thing, like sitting there, like he's just sitting there the whole time. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now. The next one that we have that's long is Bethany's. All the other ones are real short. So we'll probably do like 2 short ones tomorrow. And then we'll do Bethany's soon. Let me look and see if there's anything else document-wise on here. Anything new anyway? No. Just the request for additional restitution being sealed, the document, but that was before we even had the hearing. And the case summary hasn't been updated since the 6th, so there's nothing new there. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Y'all have a good night. I'm not going to probably be live at all tonight because we were already on here for 3.5 hours and I got to go do dinner and stuff. But tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, we should be able to go live twice tomorrow with 2 of the shorter interviews. And then we're going to be digging back into the ISP documents, especially the one that Eve has a community spot for about the latent prints not being photographed for some reason. I'm going to try to get some clarity on that one. And the ping pong table, having Kaylee's blood on it, I know I'm still going to be going in and trying to clarify what's being said about that based on the documents, because I know what's going on and what's being talked about right now. But I'm trying to just independently research it myself before I come out here with a full-on opinion. Again, what is this? Was that the one that was walking his dog and said that he saw the front door open? Is it that same person? I remember that guy. I remember reading that report. Oh, I got your, where'd you go? I got your Cash App. Thank you. I tried to jump on and like say something as soon as the live ended yesterday, because I saw it like as soon as I came off camera, but I didn't know if you were still in chat for me to like pop anything up. So thank you. I did get that. And thank you guys who have like been here doing all that stuff and supporting the channel. You guys are beautiful. I love you all. Thank you so much for the super chats, the super stickers, the new members, the gifted memberships, all the things, and your time. More than anything, I appreciate your time, spending your time here, listening to me rant. I appreciate it so, so much. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.